And welcome everybody to episode 121 with down wires, technical difficulties. We didn't think this was going to happen, but we got it up and running. We're together with toothpicks, some scotch tape. We're good to go. We got it running.
I'm telling you.
Until a tree hits Charles's power wires in the back, and then we're screwed. So this is November 1st, episode 121. I'm your host, Steve, and always joined by
Charles is here.
And of course, via satellite.
We think BB
may cut in and out. I don't know. Bill, how you doing?
I'm all right. I don't think this is satellite though. I think I should grab like a can and hook a string to it.
Yeah, we got you now.
Oh, he sounds good now.
Glad. All right.
You got the buttery tones of BB.
BB is a bit of a train.
Oh yeah.
So we got a unique taste test. It's not going to suck this week, I don't think. Ben and Jerry's cookie dough. I don't think. You never know.
Yeah.
We got some shows. Charles been busy on Netflix and Amazon. And
He's busy with crap, but sure.
Yeah, I got another bad cartoon this week. Bill's got his pick of the week. And then we got some VR. We're going to introduce a new segment we're going to try to do once a month maybe. And then some other good stuff. So first up this week, the World Series ended. And the LA Dodgers won 4-2 over the Tampa Bay Rays. The only highlight from this I thought was very unique is in the 8th inning, they pulled the player out for COVID.
Yeah, which didn't make any. I thought, okay, because they freaked out because then the guy came out and celebrated with him at the end.
Yeah.
But, like, I thought that they tested him when they showed up to facilities. Why is there, like, a huge delay? He got to go. He already has infected everyone there. I don't understand. People are all wound up, and I'm like, he's already been with all of them. What are we talking about?
There's going to be no parade for them for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's so weird. I don't know.
What, Bill, did you catch that guy's name? What was that guy's name?
Something with a B.
I thought it was Hunter or something.
Oh, you're talking about the
player who popped a positive.
Yeah, and I can't think of his damn name now. His last name is Turner. I can't think of his name.
Yeah, Turner. That's what Hunter.
Justin Turner. He's the third baseman for the.
So he said, "Screw it, I'm still celebrating." Ran out there,
because he was with them all day. I mean, what are we talking about?
Yeah, he probably thought, well, they're all infected anyway.
Yeah,
so.
I mean,
so we are. There you go. The LA Dodgers. Congratulations to the shortened season and their championship. Now, there's a big debate if this really counts. Do people count these bubble championships, especially with baseball, because they played such a minor schedule compared to usual? What are your guys' take? Do you guys feel this is a real World Series and they won?
Okay, so with the baseball, I'm gonna get baseball season's too long in general. I'm gonna let the baseball championship stand because that's the way it should be played right now. That's my opinion. The hockey, I'm gonna let the hockey go. I'm gonna let basketball go.
They got most of their seasons in.
They were pretty good, and they had reasonable seating and all that kind of stuff. What I will put an asterisk with is the college football. The college football is going to be a problem.
It's really good Notre Dame wins it.
Yeah, I'm just going to say it right now. And this
still
is
counts.
not, yeah.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Yeah, that's the one to me because you barely have the Pac-12. You've got different procedures for the Big Ten for seating or for sitting players.
Yeah.
You've got other conferences lying their way through who has to sit out and for how long. Nick Saban got a freaking COVID test out of a gas station somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it right now. The college football one's the only one I'm going to call shenanigans on. BV, you got an opinion?
Can I get a hallelujah this evening? Thank you.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I think I've been saying this since they even decided to start playing football this year in college. Everything's so convoluted that I don't care if Bama wins the frickin' title, goes undefeated. I am laying no legitimacy on this championship whatsoever because of all the things you just said. Plus,
full disclosure, Notre Dame does it. I'm taking full credit.
It's just,
I'll give me a championship.
Yeah, but, okay,
sure.
But here's the problem.
You know what?
The leprechaun tattooed on my ass, 2020.
Yeah, but
it won't just be the season though. It'll be well. Trevor Lawrence.
That's what I was gonna say.
I don't give a fuck.
You play a Trevor Lawrence list, like you know what I mean?
Doesn't matter. When Ric Flair used to win cheating, it still counted. Goddamn it,
cheating, ain't trying, or something like that. I don't know, man.
I'm taking it.
Yeah, I can see your points, but I'm just saying, like. These teams are a mess. It is crazy.
College football is a mess.
I think the NFL should count. I really do. I think the NFL is doing it as close to what you could be as possible. I think that the NFL, the only one I'm going to call shit on is going to be the college football. I just don't like it.
one point I would make to the pro team leagues, particularly baseball, hockey. I don't know if it's really been in play, and it actually has happened in the NBA. In the last 20 years or so, 20, 25 years, we've had in all three of those sports situations where there was either a strike or a lockout, and they've played abbreviated seasons, and nobody said, well, this season's not legitimate because it's a shortened season. They still had, they still went through with the schedule they had in place. The teams played basically the same number of games. They went through the playoff process. I think it's legit.
Had it too high?
Yeah.
I kind of like hiding behind the mic.
No, I mean, I can hear you breathing.
Oh, my nostrils going.
Dude, your nose hairs are tickling the mic. It's awkward.
Well, I'm going to review Vader later. I thought I'd give you guys a preview.
Just saying, man. Everyone at home's thinking, well, we got a scuba diver on the show.
So, as you shit on college football, that's a great segue into the college football highlights. So, apparently the Big Ten is becoming upset central.
Dude, it's fucking nuts.
No one predicted MSU to walk into Ann Arbor and beat
Well, you
got
got
to
to set the scene. So,
They were a
we
2-touchdown underdog, right? Or 3.
Well, we talked last week. Michigan State blew out the D'Antonio era and took old boy from Colorado, right?
Yes.
And they proceeded to lay a huge egg against
Yes.
Rutgers, who has been the dregs of the conference. Then comes the big game. They're going to roll into Ann Arbor. Wolverines look good against PJ Fleck, who we're turning out to be is just a disaster.
Yeah, Minnesota lost again, right?
Yes, to Maryland. Oof.
Oh.
So they roll into Ann Arbor, and everyone thought that the Wolverines were going to drop a hundo on it. Now to your highlights.
Yes. So instead, I forget the guy's name, Rocky Lombardi, whatever they're called. He has the blondest hair I've ever seen. Ric Flair's grandson out there threw for 300 yards and beat him 27-24, Michigan State
The
Spartans.
score doesn't reflect how not close the game was.
My thing that made my head mental near the end of that game. Did you watch the game, the whole game?
I didn't, no.
There's 5 minutes left. Michigan's down 17 to something. They were taking their grand old time, and they were down by like 10 points.
That's because he's a Michigan man. Harbaugh knows you need to run that rock all the
They
time.
were just meandering down the field. It was the slowest drive for someone losing by 10 points with 5 minutes left. What are you going to say, Bill?
When they got, I'm saying when they got closer, right before they scored to bring it within 3, you could tell that they were already going to have to get an onside kick no matter what, and they still refused to use their timeouts. I think they finally used one right before they scored the touchdown, but they were inside of 2 minutes before they used the touchdown, and they were 10 points down.
Yeah,
It made no sense whatsoever.
It's the slowest 5 minute drive I've ever seen in my life.
He's like, no sense of urgency.
Even Wiggs
whatsoever.
texted me like, "This is the slowest 5." I was like, "Yes, it is." I was going mental on that. I'm not even a Michigan fan, but you hustle. I don't know what to
To
tell
the
you.
line, gentlemen.
I mean, they were acting like they were up by 10. It made no sense. Yeah. So, but anyways, big upset. Of course, I love
Now,
this.
did you guys see did you see the weird fact about Harbaugh against MSU at home?
No.
He's 1-3 against MSU in Ann Arbor.
Oof.
That is
And
bad.
and if you add Ohio State, he's 1-6.
Holy shit.
How does he still have a job?
I don't know, man. That is one of those things where U of M is just being stubborn. Yeah. At some point, you really got to look. They're paying him a mint. They're paying him $7 million a year or some shit.
Michelle and I went out after the game. We were going to Shields Pizza. Delicious, tasty. By the way.
You drove all the way to 12 Mile Telegraph?
That's a delicious pizza.
For pizza?
Yes.
You diabetic asshole.
I had a salad to go with it. What's the problem?
What the fuck?
But anyways, and on 97.1, I had to listen to it on the way there.
I could have.
Everyone wants him fired. Everybody on there.
I mean, at some point, you got to look long and hard at it. I mean, you're paying this guy a lot of money
and to
make you a relevant program.
They may lose to Indiana next week.
Tim Tebow, Jesus of college football, has been calling for Indiana to be the...
They have the college football Jesus on their side.
Yeah, when you break out college Jesus.
So I don't know. We'll have to keep you informed on Michigan. I know Gabe and Scott Bergeron are on suicide watch right now. Ironically, 2 weeks ago, I asked Gabe, "Do you want to give Harbaugh an extension?" And he said, "Yeah. I mean, who else is out there? And he's got us winning against the teams we're supposed to win."
What was the conversation later after that game?
I asked him, "You still want Harbaugh?" He goes, "Who are we gonna get?" I said, "I heard D'Antonio was available."
I still like him. A great coach, man.
The question Michigan has to answer is the Gator Bowl good enough every year? No, seriously, I'm not even trying to be funny. Is the Gator Bowl or the Outback Bowl or whatever bowl,
Gabe was content with that.
Yeah, whatever bowl you're going to play in Florida, being the number 3 or 4 team in the Big Ten.
Yeah, but then
because
they barely win the bowl games too.
Well, they're not going to. I mean, and they're not going to win the division. Never mind the conference, anytime soon.
Jesus, man. Did you guys?
And
you're going to go on and talk. Did you guys watch the Ohio? So it sounds like you went out to Shields and ate pizza, which is fantastic. Again, as a diabetic.
Well,
man.
Ohio State game didn't come out till like 8.
Yeah,
so
it was
I watched
a
the
later
Ohio State
game.
game.
Oh, you did.
I didn't see
Okay.
Notre Dame, Georgia Tech. Notre Dame kind of dominated.
And they whipped their butt. Yeah, it was pretty
It
impressive.
wasn't very impressive to watch. So
And we're getting a Trevor Lawrence list. Clemson coming into South Bend, I believe. I believe that's in South Bend.
We'll see. That's still gonna be close.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, you can't ask for better situations as an Irish fan.
If they blow this one,
Dude, I mean, you just ain't meant to compete.
yeah, pretty much.
And they were down 18 at the half to Boston College.
Yeah, so let's lead us into our next highlight, Bill. Boston College gave a scare to Clemson, and Boston was like 28-10 at one point, and then Clemson comes back to win 34-28 in the second half. That was a close one, almost an upset there. And again, they didn't have Trevor Lawrence.
One of the ones you don't have on this list here is you're kind of going through and kind of rattling off because some interesting, like you said, college football is chaos right now. LSU is terrible.
I didn't listen because I think we kind of know it by now.
Oh my God!
They scored. They got Gus Malzahn off the hot seat, and they put Orgeron on the hot seat.
I gotta tell you, man, LSU has got issues.
They scored 11 and gave up 46. I think. Hey, I didn't put them on it because it wasn't a good game.
I just can't believe that is a fall from grace.
Yeah.
Can a guy that's less than a year off of winning the national title, though, really be in the hot seat?
Yeah, it's true, but I don't know. It's pretty bad
Those
right now.
crazy Southern schools don't give a shit, though, sometimes.
I mean, they're weird year.
Yeah, and Ohio State, Penn State, I put them on there. It wasn't even that great of a game. Ohio State kind of dominated the whole game. Did you watch that game?
I watched the first half.
The game was never in doubt.
It wasn't in doubt, but Ohio State, oddly to me anyway, and again, I'm not a big Ohio State, they were very dominant, but like weirdly taking their foot off the gas way too much. And I'm like, they should have dropped another 25, like 28 points. And they just didn't. They didn't go in for the kill shot to me, and that's what kind of blew me away. I think that when you get into that upper echelon that Ohio State's always in, they could struggle if they don't get that kind of kill vibe going quickly.
Yeah, and give some credit to Penn State. They are still a pretty good program, so maybe they couldn't.
I don't know. It looked like they were pretty much at ease doing whatever they wanted to, so it just didn't seem like they wanted to put them away.
Of course, I didn't put Alabama on here. They rolled one of the shitty Mississippi states. One of those shitty Mississippi colleges they rolled.
That you're supposed to care about.
Yeah, nobody gives a shit about them. No one's giving a shit about a Mississippi
go to
school
BB on
since
the
Eli
camera,
Manning
so
left.
I can see BB shaking his head.
Yeah, he agrees. He knows. Bill's never worried.
Mississippi State is not good.
Yeah, no school in Mississippi
But
is
let me
good.
tell you,
State of Mississippi sucks.
I will tell you this though: Big Ten fan is just as guilty of talking up mediocre competition as well. Because I talk to a lot of people at my job, and they start telling me about like some of these schools, like, no, don't sleep on Indiana and all this kind of except for when you got College Jesus this year. But I'm saying like most years they come in and try to like talk up Indiana, and you're like, really? Like, can we just take it easy?
It would not surprise me for anything for Michigan to thump Indiana next week.
Yeah,
it'd be watch. They'll come out and they'll do the Michigan thing, and it'd be like 27-10, and then everyone will shut the fuck up about Indiana.
Yeah,
I guess Iowa's 0-2 also. Now Wisconsin may never play again. They have COVID.
Well, it's because of those.
I don't know what's going on there.
And I alluded to it earlier. The Big Ten, and from what I'm learning, is two presidents, and this is kind of deep inside baseball of college football, but like two presidents of Big Ten schools are epidemiologists or something to do with like mass pandemics and all.
It must be from Dearborn.
Yeah, they're from Dearborn. And so anyway, they put into this weird rule, this 3-week rule that none of the other conferences did. And like, so the problem is, you're only playing 8 games, and you're sitting out for 3 weeks.
Yeah, Wisconsin lost half their schedule.
They're
done. They're just going to do
You're
exhibitions
basically
from
just
now on.
telling a university, like, we'll see you next year, buddy.
Yeah, they're pretty much done.
Yeah.
Now, the biggest upset probably of the day was the world's best mullet lost to Texas. Oklahoma State loses to Texas 41-34. I didn't even know they lost. I know it was on Fox. I lost track
They
of the
were
game.
ranked in they were like top 10. They were like 7 or 8.
Yeah, they were fifth, I think.
Yeah. So the mullet is out, which essentially eliminated the whole Big 12 from any kind of playoffs. So they're all done. Goodbye to the Big 12. They won't be in any kind of playoffs.
But I'm sure the Big 12 is happy this morning because they know that Texas is on the
Oh, my
rebound,
God.
and the whole world wants Texas to be so
you mean the
stellar.
Southern Wolverines?
Exactly.
The Southern Wolverines won
That's
one.
a good way to call it.
God damn it.
The
Ding, ding,
long
ding, ding,
Wolverines.
The long Wolverines. God, who the Wolverines with the horns on its head running around down there.
exactly.
So that's gonna college. That's pretty much now. Next week, are you guys stoked? It is the return of the Pac-12. Does anyone care?
Wow.
Well,
What does a Justin Herbertless Oregon team look like?
they're claiming their defense is gonna be really good.
So that's what. I'll watch a little bit. You know, I don't know. Is USC of old? What is the USC team out there? I don't know much about the Pac-12. I'll be
Washington, you got the guy from Boise State stepping down and his replacement coming in at the University of Washington. So we'll see what that's going to look like. Bill, any excitement for the Pac-12?
I got to be honest with you. Until you mentioned it, I didn't know they were playing next week.
Wow, because it's a big Fox thing, big Fox push for
Yeah.
Pac-12 stuff.
I mean, not really excited. I mean, I guess, you know, if I'm up late on Saturday, it gives me a little bit more football to watch. But there's no teams in there that excite me. They didn't excite me with Oregon. I didn't look all that impressive with Justin Herbert. So
Who is the coach of USC? Anybody know?
I'm not sure right now.
I don't even know who that is.
Is it still what's his name? Clay Helton?
I'll be grasping at straws. I don't know.
Yeah.
It is. Clay Helton is still the coach.
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh, there we go. Clay Helton. I don't know who the hell
He's
that
been
is.
on the hot seat for at least 2 or 3 years.
Oh, he's on the Gus Malzahn hot seat. Everyone's on that hot seat. All right, well, let's look at the college this week, headlined by the Michigan loss, because I think MSU was either a 2 or 3 touchdown underdog. Man, if you'd have put some money on MSU, $100 on MSU, you probably would have cleared you.
You'd have been crazy if you did it, though. That's
Yeah, that
the
is true,
problem.
but
If I
man.
came to you on Friday and was like, dude, I put $100 on Sparty, you'd be like, you're out of your goddamn mind.
Yes.
Like, they just lost to Rutgers.
Yeah, they gave 7 turnovers.
No
to
one's
Rutgers.
calling that. There's
Yeah.
no way.
Big ups to that head coach, right? You know, so
that's
everyone's
crazy.
questioning everything after the Rutgers loss.
Yeah.
What?
But unlike the eventual national champion, this was a complete legitimate victory.
Okay.
Completely legitimate.
So there we go.
Well, because I don't think either team really had any COVID struggles or nothing either. To BV's point, you can't even say like they were inhibited because of this. Those teams would have played each other regardless of the scheduling. So
So here we go. Next week is the big Notre Dame Clemson. This is their chance. They got the quarterback out. They got a shot. If they don't win this one,
Dabo got in front of it early and said, "Hey, look,
yeah.
Trevor Lawrence is not going to be here. He can't meet the protocols." But they're saying Clemson will still be favored without Trevor Lawrence.
and it's in Indiana, so
That's crazy.
It can't be favored by much, though. It's probably gonna be pretty close.
That freshman quarterback didn't look amazing, but didn't have to. He's
Threw for
also
300 yards.
how many yards did he end up?
He threw for over 300.
Yeah, so they're saying that. Yeah, it's not Trevor Lawrence, but Trevor Lawrence is an anomaly that you just can't pick out of it. You know,
Yeah.
you just can't get him everywhere. So here's the problem. If Notre Dame looks good, let's say they stomp a mud hole in them Tigers. Let's say they just get crazy and like, holy shit. You still got to play that buzzsaw this year with all
Those
of
fucking
them.
cheating sons of bitches in Alabama.
So what do you do? I mean, yeah.
Wouldn't they? Let's say that they did though. Wouldn't they still have to come back probably and play Clemson in the ACC?
That's what I'm
championship
saying.
game?
You're going to see him in the
Okay.
ACC championship. Yeah, with Trevor Lawrence. So what are you going to do?
Yeah, but then it'll be like a Georgia type deal, where Notre Dame wins this one, and then they lose in the championship game against Clemson. They might end up putting both of them in the playoffs. Put Alabama and then whoever's left.
I like how you
Ohio
automatically
State.
assume Alabama. Yeah, because Alabama will pay off whoever they need to beat.
Yeah, it's gonna be Alabama.
You get
Who's
so
gonna
many-
beat them right now? I mean, Florida's getting in
I don't
fights.
know. Have you
Florida's
seen
getting in-
Missouri? They look pretty good this
Yeah,
year.
we're throwing punches against
BV,
Florida
talk
at
up some
halftime.
SEC
They
competition.
already played Missouri.
Yeah, come on, Bill. Give us that SEC.
Yeah,
so
give
tough
us a
bullshit.
deep pull of
Yeah,
some
it's Alabama and
random-
nobody else.
A deep bull.
Yeah.
Give us the scary SEC team.
Nobody.
No, there really is. I mean, Georgia
Hold
was
on,
the scary,
Vanderbilt looks a little pretty good this year.
They put the smack on Georgia. Georgia was probably the one team that had a legitimate chance.
Nobody. It's Alabama and no one else.
If Florida ends up winning the East, they're going to get spanked too.
Yeah.
They got no fight. Did you see all that shit?
Yeah, those
Jesus.
retards. You punch someone in the gut if you're wearing full football gear, not the head, you idiots.
All right, let's talk about Thursday night.
Now, our scheduling's a little off. Usually we do the podcast on Saturdays, so we don't have a lot of football to talk about.
We like to keep people guessing.
Yeah, we don't like to have steady schedules. But we usually always talk about the Thursday night game, and this one wasn't that bad, but it wasn't that great either, let's be honest. I kept seeing Matt Ryan scrambling. He was running for so many yards.
Try scrambling.
Yeah, they won 25-17. They picked off Teddy Bridgewater. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The fucking
replacements, man.
Yeah, replacements.
Yeah.
25-17. All Atlanta did was hurt their draft status. So now they're 2-5.
I got news for you, man. Your team brought out that whole shit this week where he told Gurley, like, don't score. They released the audio like, hey, dumbass, don't score.
And he still scored.
Yeah, it was bad.
So
your team's got issues.
Yeah, but they won. They're 2-5. Like I said, just hurting their draft status.
Congratulations. You won't get anyone good.
And then Raheem Morris will probably still be let go at the end of the season as the interim head coach, and they'll go after somebody. So, but we did get some Sunday football in today because of that. Lions, of course, went out and dropped a turd. Lost 41-21.
41 by them Colts.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford's out there throwing pick sixes and fumbling all over the place. They look terrible.
What is the Lions' record at this point?
They're 3-4.
3-4.
And they're going to play bums for the next 2 weeks. They got Houston, who's falling apart, and they have Minnesota, who's falling apart. But Minnesota kicked shit out of Green Bay today and won 28-22. Wasn't as close as the score lets out because it was 28-14 with like 5 minutes left. So
no garbage time. For
that. And it was Minnesota figured out let's not let Kirk Cousins throw the ball, and they just gave the ball to Delvin Cook a shitload. Bill had to respect that 160 yards and 3 touchdowns. Did you see that, Bill?
Yeah, I mean, if I were coaching the Vikings, he'd get the ball like 400 times a year.
Yeah, exactly. Because Cousins is terrible.
In fact, I think I just take Cousins out and play whoever the backup is, because that way, when they occasionally do have to pass, he won't throw the interception. But
now, Bill, you have NFL ticket. Did you watch Pittsburgh and Baltimore?
I watched a good portion of it. Yeah,
we didn't get to
I
see
was
that.
flipping around between that. I was watching my squad play. Bills play against the Patriots. And
so tell us a recap of those 7-0 Pittsburgh Steelers, baby.
Well, that was a real back and forth game.
It always is. Great game.
Well, no, yeah, and the thing is, it's weird because it went from the Steelers were looking like they were up against it for a while, and then suddenly Baltimore stopped being able to stop the run. Connor went kind of nuts on them, and then Pittsburgh had a really good 4th down stop in the red zone late in the game, and we're able to hold them off. It was a pretty probably the game of the week so far.
We wouldn't know here in the Detroit market.
Yeah, what is it?
Was that the only game on?
We got Minnesota or Green Bay, and we got the Colts, the Lions.
And the 4 o'clock game is New Orleans and the Bears.
Yeah,
the Bears have been on like every week.
Yeah, a lot of Bears
there's nothing else. I mean, the only other 2 games on at all right
now. There's a Seattle San Fran game.
And Seattle's spanking them right now. It's like 31-7. And then the Chargers and Broncos are playing right now too.
What is the 8 o'clock game?
That is the Eagles and Cowboys.
Ooh, I might have to go make a model or something. Don't need to see that one.
Those are my Super Bowl champion Eagles.
Is that 2-5-1?
That was my Super Bowl losing Cowboys. So
it's a battle of Super Bowl.
Dude, I got news to you, man. Like our hot dog vendors are quarterback.
Yeah, with Ben Narducci as a starting quarterback.
Ben Narducci.
Undrafted.
Isn't he the coach at Pitt?
Fifth or sixth round draft pick from James Madison.
Oh man, that's terrible.
Hey, observation. I watched a little bit of the game today, the Lions Colts game, and is it just me or is Matthew Stafford just like a younger version of Rivers?
Yeah,
he's
just
either a pick machine or he's unstoppable.
Yeah, but even the Rivers have went to the playoffs. That's the problem.
So is Stafford, and he lost. Once.
One time.
Well, Rivers could
This
get
is
the
how
Super Bowl
many years in the league? Like,
47.
Yeah.
Rivers had LT with his of the best season of running back season in history, and couldn't win an AFC Championship game. So it
All right.
works both ways.
There are a little bit of outside the games news. Antonio Brown back in the league. He's with the Bucks now.
very incentive-based contract,
Yeah.
possibly up to $2.5 million. or
Tom
something
Brady
like that.
allegedly loves this dude, so he needs to be in it.
If he could just knock his shit off, he's a great player. I mean, if you're talking about pure ability to play football, yeah.
Yeah, and then also Odell Beckham is out for the season.
ACL, MCL,
Yeah,
something like that.
he's jacked up.
Yeah.
Bill's got a picture of Antonio Brown there. How now? Any prediction on how long Antonio Brown lasts? Has he humbled himself long enough now that he thinks maybe I need to watch my mouth for a
Yeah,
couple years?
I think you're going to get a couple years out of him. I do. I really do.
You think he got meds or something?
I don't think he got meds, but I think to your point, he got kicked in the dick enough that it might chill him out for a little while, but that diva in him just can't calm down sometimes, and it just flares up.
Bill, what do you think? How long does Antonio Brown last?
You know what? I don't know. He might just be crazy enough that he won't get through the year.
Wow.
But this is very much like an old school Patriots play. For the Bucks, there's no real risk here. I mean, if he doesn't work out, they
It's
cut
all
him.
incentive, yeah. They just drop.
Yeah, I mean,
him
they're sitting on plenty of weapons right now. So this is just, and I would sort of like bold statements or whatever predictions for next year. Odell Beckham's going to be in Tampa Bay next year.
Wow!
I think
everyone's just going to go to the Bucks. They're just going to collect
he's going to the
receivers.
Bucks. I think him and the Browns will part ways. I think he's going to end up catching passes from Brady.
That's because the shine is falling off of them Browns. Like a newsfeed, they lost again today.
So, Bill, Tua's big debut. What did you think?
First of all, he lit it up.
Yeah,
well, I didn't watch
93
that.
yards.
I didn't watch that much of it, to be honest with you. I do know that the first series he played in, he got sort of sack fumble by Aaron Donald right away. So, yeah, I think they scored a defensive touchdown and a punt return or kick return touchdown. So, yeah, I mean I don't understand when you have Fitzmagic who is still playing well, why you would switch to Tua when you're playing against the frickin' Rams. Like, oh, okay, welcome to the NFL. Here's Aaron Donald in your face. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
It did work, though. They won.
Well, they won the game, but as you said, like he didn't exactly light it up or anything.
93 yards? What are you talking about?
93
But the only
yards.
highlight they showed was his one touchdown pass. They didn't show anything else.
I
was like
feel like the
it was like a
league
3-yard
wants him
touchdown.
to be really good.
Yeah, they do.
And it's possible he will be, but this isn't going to be like one of those immediate he jumps in on the scene and goes nuts. It's going to take a while if it happens at all. And hopefully he can stay upright long enough for that to happen. So I'm not confident that's going to happen either.
Yeah. So that's the wrap up for the football. And one last note before we move on to our taste test. Bill, this is probably close for him. He was a big old Bond fan. Sean Connery, at the age of 90, passed away this week. Everyone think he's the best Bond, or
I think he's the best Jones of the Last Crusade.
Yeah, that's true.
I love the Last Crusade.
I like him better
That
in other
movie's
movies
great.
besides Bond. Yeah.
I love Indiana Jones' Last Crusade. It's more
Junior.
Yeah, it's so good. He's so spot on in that movie.
Yeah,
Can't
we
say
named
enough
the
good
dog
things.
Indiana.
He was 90 years old, though,
Yeah, he
man.
lived a good life.
It's a good deal, man.
Scottish, right? Isn't
Yeah,
he?
hatred keeps those Scottish
Yeah,
people alive.
whole bitter Scottish
Yeah,
people.
keeps them alive.
I feel like he might have been the best Bond, but I don't think he was in the best Bond movies.
No.
Daniel Craig gets the
As
best
far,
Bond movies.
yeah, best Bond movies are those. Daniel Craig, I can't say enough good things about those. But to your point, as far as if you want a suave dude that fits that bill, and
Yeah.
he just everything about him, spot on.
And Bill, your thoughts on Sean Connery?
Well, okay, I'm an old school Bond fan, so yeah, I still think he's the best Bond. The movies are 50 years apart. I mean, there's no comparison.
Yeah,
and I will say that, and although I have always had a little bit more Roger Moore love than most people, Daniel Craig is, if he's not at that point yet, he's got to be 1A. Daniel Craig is the best Bond I've seen since they went to the more modern movies.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm disappointed that he's leaving the
I'll tell
franchise.
I
He's
don't-
phenomenal.
I got Daniel Craig comes off a little. He's not as smooth. He's a little rougher around the edges,
which I think is intentional.
I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm just saying, like, if you were to say, here's got to be a suave secret agent, I think that Sean Connery is a little bit more for me. But again, those Daniel Craig Bond movies are amazing.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to.
Hands down, the worst is those fucking Pierce Brosnan movies.
No, Timothy Dalton are the best ones.
Fortunately, he only did 2. Fortunately,
watch some of those because the cable's been playing a lot of those Pierce Brosnan ones. The movies as a whole, not just him. I mean, he's okay, but those movies are bad. The one with Halle Berry is really bad. You watch them back, it's like, I like this in the 90s. It's so bad. All right. So R.I.P. Sean Connery. I know he moved down to the islands in the tropics somewhere is where he spent his retirement. He had kind of look like a little bit like our grandfather in his older age with the beard and stuff. But
did Sean Connery bang a lot of chicks? What is Steve's opinion?
Are you kidding?
Was he running through them? Was he just?
Of course he was.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're probably not late in life. Probably not the last 20 years, but
so he had up till 70 had a good run.
Yeah.
Banging them chicks.
Yeah, oh my God. Are you kidding me right now? That accent, he's rich and an actor? Come on. He just walks in a room they were dropping.
Oh man, the panties drop.
What do you think, Bill?
If he wasn't running through chicks like crazy, then that was a waste of a man.
He was. You know he was.
Michelle's a big Bond nut, right?
Yeah.
Isn't she?
Yeah.
So what is her opinion on Sean Connery?
I mean, she likes Sean Connery, but Sean Connery is more her mother, like Cheryl.
So you're telling me Sean Connery make them Cheryl Henson panties drop?
Yeah. And a weird one, another
huge panties.
You know another actor that made the Cheryl Henson panties drop? Brian Denny.
Oh, dude, from freaking Rambo?
Yes, she loved that dude. She's the only person on earth that ever thought he was sexy.
Man, he was sexy in Rambo. I got a feeler on that one.
He
was in that new buck coat, walking around all the time, picking out people.
Brian Denny and Sean Connery does it for Cheryl Henson.
I kind of dig Brian Denny in that way.
Michelle liked Pierce Brosnan in his prime. She loved him. The tall.
I loved his
dark.
car. That M3, that little convertible Beamer that came out there. That was a sweet ass car.
She always liked Pierce Brosnan. That was her bee's knees. She doesn't like. I mean, she likes Daniel Craig's movies, but like good looks wise, she doesn't like his.
Because he's a rough around the edges.
Yeah, and he's blonde. He's not dark.
Yeah. He's ripped. He's stacked, man.
Yeah.
Daniel Craig can move some weight, boy.
Yeah. So. All right, so there you go. R.I.P. Sean Connery, James Bond, The Rock, Indiana Jones, Last Crusade, Medicine Man. Is a long list of movies. Now,
don't forget The Rapist.
and Celebrity Jeopardy. All right, now we got a taste test this week, Bill. I don't know. Did you get a chance to find it or no?
Yeah, and hopefully they're still not. They're still semi-frozen.
Ours aren't because we waited an hour and a half.
I have some freezer packs in there, but I don't know how well they stayed. Now, Ben & Jerry's released these. These aren't probably
on the main there. You're good there on the main.
Well, only 9 grams of sugar. So, includes added 9 more grams. So it's 18 grams. There's a second bag
on
in
the
there.
main. Oh, there is.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
what, 2 bags of these?
I don't know. I thought we want to try the varieties, right?
What flavors do you have?
We have the peanut butter chocolate chip cookie dough chunks.
Okay, I have that one too.
And then we have
half-baked, it looks like.
These half-baked brownie chocolate chip cookie dough. Now Holly wanted these. She loves brownies. So she said, get the brownie one. Of course, I got to take these home for the girls to try.
They're very small. They kind of look like cat treats.
Well, these come in 2 different colors.
Holy peanut butter.
Oh, really?
With that, son. Holy crap.
Wow, that smells like peanut butter.
Oh, my God.
These are tinier. The other ones are bigger.
Yeah. Those peanut butter ones are out of hand, dude.
So, I don't know if people can see it. They look like little pellets. They do look like
they look like
Friskies,
cat treats,
yeah.
man. Them peanut butter ones. You got the peanut butter ones, BB? What are they? They look like cat treats, man.
Yeah, they're good, though.
Oh, yeah, man. They're fucking delicious.
I mean, come on.
Here,
insane.
We'll trade out.
Like,
Is this on your diet plan?
Hell no. I don't even think people need us to tell us these are going to be. This is the most amazing thing ever. I mean, what are we talking about? BB, what's your thoughts?
These are tasty.
I mean, Dude, I don't even need to tell you these are delicious. This is unbelievable.
So this
I
one,
have the flavors, but I also have the vegan chocolate chip cookie dough chunks.
Oh, they made a vegan one? The Ben & Jerry's made a vegan one?
Yeah. Well, they already do make the vegan candies.
This
or whatever,
one-
or
has cookie dough chunks and brownie chunks. So you're getting like the best of both worlds.
This is unbelievable.
No,
I mean, what
I-
do you? I mean,
it
shocker.
would even the vegan one's good.
This is crazy.
The other one they had, I couldn't find. Didn't have it. They have a not a cinnamon one, but a gingerbread one, like a little gingerbread cookie. I wanted to get that because I thought that'd probably be the worst
Might
one.
take a little edge off.
Yeah,
it.
but
Which one out of these two do you like? So
oh,
you got
peanut butter, hand down. Not even gonna think about it. I'd eat that whole bag.
So let me put them away.
Yeah, put these away. But
So
How are they
shocker,
delicious?
Yeah, go to
good news,
camera one.
these are only like $4. $4 a bag. So for $20, you could stock yourself up.
They were $5.99 here.
Oh,
BB been a
they were
douchebag.
$4.30 at Target.
Son of a bitch.
You paid the
yeah.
Chicago dude.
Target didn't have them. I had to go to Jewel Osco to get them.
Drew Osco screwed you.
Yeah, wow, you been a douchebag.
They were under $5 at Target. I don't know if they were on sale.
Okay, so
They're in the freezer section next to their.
Let's
ice cream.
go around the room. Steve, what did you think of the Ben & Jerry's peanut butter?
Well, let me think. They were goddamn delicious. They're 10 out of 10.
Like you said, you'd smash. So this whole bag,
I'd smash it. I would just open it. That
this
bag
whole
would be gone.
bag, if you were to do now, we lean diabetic in this house or in this.
Yeah,
on
it'd
this
be
show.
1,000 calories I'd eat.
It
in
would
fucking
be
one shot.
880 calories. And now we often talk about the carbohydrates.
And the total sugar.
So you got 26 grams per serving. So you'd have 8 servings. You have 160 grams of sugar. Steve would die. We'd
Yeah,
cut
I
his
can.
leg off. It's amazing,
They're
people.
good.
I don't know what you want me to do. BV,
Actually, there's less sugar in the peanut butter than this one has more sugar.
Jesus
This
Christ.
has 24 grams total.
They said,
sugar.
I see your sugar and I raise
Yeah.
you.
So the brownie and chocolate chip has more sugar,
Yeah.
but I mean they're good.
BV, do you have any thoughts that you can articulate differently other than they're amazing?
I'm afraid that if I were to go back, if I go back and reopen these, they will be gone.
Yeah.
They're
I almost
good.
feel like I should just take the two that are non-vegan and just throw them out.
Yeah, put those in the fridge and try some.
After you try them, yeah, go ahead.
Try tell us which one you like better.
Yeah.
The peanut butter or the chocolate chip brownie.
How sticky were the peanut butters when you pulled them out?
Ours are pretty good. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't know.
mine didn't last
just 'cause
long,
they
so I don't
thought-
know.
They thought enough that they were.
No,
just
Steve
sticky.
did a pretty good job packing them up. Yeah, give them a shot. Shocker, you're gonna love them. I mean, what are we talking about?
So
I mean, dude, they're freaking cookie chunks from Ben and freaking Jerry's.
hey,
Dude.
we've eaten so much crap
I'm
on this
not
podcast.
saying you're wrong.
We deserve something tasty.
I just can't articulate anything other than they're freaking delicious.
Since the letdown of the Nashville hot chips.
I'd like nothing more than be able to articulate something and be like, here's what I'm noticing, the notes. No, they're freaking awesome.
Yeah.
What do you want me to tell you?
My only thing is maybe if you get them, make sure you have 3 or 4 friends because you might end up eating the whole bag on your own. That's the only thing I can think of. They are fucking delicious.
Anyone tuning into the show, yes, everything from Ben and Jerry's is amazing.
Yes, that is true.
That's just in. They're good.
Yeah. Has anyone eaten anything bad from Ben and
I
Jerry's?
don't like Cherry Garcia. It's not bad.
well,
It's
yeah.
just a preference thing more than anything. If I'm a fat kid sitting there looking at the glass window, I'll go, I don't want the cherry
I
one.
swear to God. You know what would be great? I'd just get a bowl of vanilla ice cream and throw those peanut butter ones on top of there.
Oh, my God.
You make it even worse.
Because like a pint of Ben and Jerry's is like a G, like 1,000 calories.
Yeah.
And shit.
You ever sit at home and you had a bowl of cookie dough ice cream and you're just eating the cookie chunks out of the ice cream and go, I wish I could just have a bowl of the cookie. Now you can. You
yeah,
can
I
have a
guarantee
bowl
that's
of
what probably they came up with.
Oh, my God.
It's amazing, people. I don't
Side
know.
note, my daughter is annoying. She'll do that. She'll go through the gallon and she'll take all the cookie chunks.
What an asshole.
And then a little bit
That's
of the ice
worse
cream.
than when Mom would lick the friggin' chips.
Yeah, and then you go
Yeah.
and you go get all you guys vanilla ice
That's
cream.
a dick move.
Holly would
man.
do that all the time. Fucking
I'd
drive me
take that,
nuts.
throw it in her bed. Like, you deserve this.
So there you go, Ben and Jerry's, big shocker, very tasty.
I mean, they're amazing.
Hey, we deserved a break from some of the shitty stuff we've eaten, from the seaweed to the bad Lay's chips.
Well, when BV's in town, so they did it on the King and the Sting. I love that podcast, and they did the 1 chip challenge. You guys see that shit lately?
No.
Pocky sends out like 1 million Scoville 1 chip. You're supposed to eat it and not drink anything for a few minutes and stuff like that.
know.
That's got Bill written all over it. I ain't doing that
it's-
shit.
I don't know my blood pressure and stuff like that. Like, I have
Yeah.
an issue.
All right. So now let's go into some shows. And
Now that we've had a snack.
now that we had our snack, we're all coming down from our sugar highs. Bill, you all right there with the headset?
Yeah, it's just warm.
Oh, okay.
You know.
All right. So first up, I'm still the only
Hold on a
person.
second. What other flavors are there, real quick, before BV goes on? He's got the thing here. So we've got the two that we had was the peanut butter. One was peanut butter. It was cookie chunks and brownie chunks.
One's regular cookie dough.
One's just straight up cookie dough.
I know there's a gingerbread one and a cinnamon one.
Okay. And then the last one must be the vegan one. Is that what
Yeah,
I'm looking at over
probably,
BV's
yeah.
shoulder here?
They have okay, so there is
It might be more than that. They had a lot.
vegan.
Of
Well,
them.
yeah, they've got gingerbread cookie dough,
That's when you
cinnamon bun dough,
That's one
the
Holly
chocolate chip,
had that one.
chocolate chip cookie that we had. Or no, I'm sorry, that's different. There's a chocolate chip cookie that's
Jeez.
different than the half baked that we had.
Yeah, they have baked.
Golly.
Then there's the vegan chocolate chip cookie dough, peanut butter
Which
chocolate
BV's a
chip
fan of.
cookie dough.
BV said the vegan one was really good.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it wasn't as good as the other two, but it's sort of like any other thing else with Ben and Jerry's. Like their floor is like a 7.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, peanut butter chocolate chip cookie dough, and then regular chocolate chip cookie dough chunks.
Now, do you see Abby eating the shit out of that vegan one?
Oh yeah.
She's gonna house that bag. Bill's gonna house the other bag.
It takes a lot of self control, man. Like you said, get them out of here.
Especially those peanut butter ones. I'm not gonna lie. I can eat fucking I have a
You're a big
weakness.
peanut butter cookie guy?
Oh, peanut butter cookie. What are you talking about? If they get
Peanut butter
cupcake-
cookies?
Big, fresh, a warm peanut butter cookie. Man, that's the peanut butter cookie is kind of, if you think about it, kind of almost the same consistency as pecan sandy. They're pretty close.
Yeah,
to,
that's what I was gonna say.
they're probably in
That's
the
why I'm not
same
a fan of it,
neighborhood.
that dryness of
Oh,
it.
fucking love them. Give me some milk.
I think we can expect some higher than normal blood sugar readings this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Especially after pizza.
All
that
right,
shit.
so let's concentrate.
All right, now we're going back to some shows. And again, I'm the only person still with the Cinemax app.
Yeah,
And me and Michelle cracked through Banshee season 3. Like I said, the first season was a 7. This is a 6. We're down to a 5. It's just so insulting. They took out a military base for the finale with just 2 guys. I was like, seriously, a military base? They took down a military base. So they're way past the roadhouse at this point. I got to watch season 4 because I got to finish it now. And season 4 is only 8 episodes, so we'll finish it this week. Keep you updated on Banshee.
Did they still get gratuitous with the titties and stuff like that too, or did they dial it back?
There's a couple scenes in this season, but this one focused more on violence. There's a lot more violence this time for this season. A lot more like beheadings. One guy got shot in the face with a shotgun. They showed it. So it was a lot more in white supremacists were coming in.
Gruesomeness of it.
Yeah. There was a handful of sex scenes, but not like the first scene. The first season was like, Cinemax, Skinemax, but they've dialed it down a little bit. All right, now also debuting this week that we all watched, at least Charles and I did watch.
Yeah.
Bill's
BB's not
catching
there
up, and
yet.
he's going to give us what he thinks on the first season. But we watched the big debut Mandalorian episode 1, season 2.
They're calling it Chapter 9. So they're being really weird. Like they're acting like there's not seasons. Like everything
Oh,
just
it's one
continues.
continuous story.
Yeah, is what they're kind of doing.
Okay.
So,
Spoiler alerts for anyone out there.
for any, and if first of all, if you have Disney Plus and you're not watching Mandalorian, you're doing yourself a disservice. Because what are you watching on this thing?
unless
I don't
you've never seen a
understand.
90s Disney cartoon. I don't know.
I don't know what you're not watching. So I'll tell you this, and I'll just kind of give you my thoughts, and Steve can go through his thoughts. This show is still tonally is so correct to all things in the Star Wars universe.
Yes.
It is written, directed, and produced by what must be true Star Wars fans.
Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau. Yeah.
They get everything that you want from a Star Wars show in 2020. It just nails. I cannot begin to tell you how much I watched the show with a smile on my face. It is that goddamn good. Steve's gonna nerd nitpick it a little bit. I love it. It still continues on the same. It appears he's going to just continue to work his way through the galaxy, but also kind of still doing a bounty hunter-esque job at all these locations as he's working his way to get the child back to his species or whatever that ends up being, I don't know.
Species or / Jedi's.
Yeah, they're not really. They're kind of. He's piecing it together. This chapter 9 introduced a new character played by Timothy Oliphant.
We played another Old West Martian.
Yeah, it was
guy.
basically he played the Deadwood character in Star Wars. I was like, okay,
Yeah, I can go for that.
way into this. Yeah,
He was very great.
okay. Thank you for that. They also fought, and there's a lot of ties into the Boba Fett death and all that kind of stuff. The production of this show is amazing. I cannot tell you enough. Everything looks great. Everything fits in the universe. Steve's going to say a couple nitpicks here and there. I also like the way that they give you. What was the pearl that they pulled out of the big dragon thing at the
Yeah,
end?
was that like its egg or something?
They didn't explain,
I'm
and then maybe that'll be alluded to later. I don't know. But Steve, what are your thoughts?
First off, it's an 8 out of 10 easily. The show. I'm not going to shit on it or anything too much. I was telling Charles beforehand, there are some minor nitpicks. The Gamorrean guards still look like two dudes in green body paint with a Gamorrean guard
I will
mask
tell you
on.
this, and I don't want to derail your commentary, but like the neat part about that the show does so well is they flesh everything out. Like, so here's just like his interaction with another guy that he's had previous before. But they're like watching like weird UFC Gamorrean guard fights.
Yeah.
Like it just feels so lived in and cool, man.
That was good, and the guy he saw was cool and all that. The only other complaint I have is why does everything in the Star Wars universe have to go to Podunk fucking Tatooine? Why does everything have to go to that fucking planet?
Well, maybe, and again, I'm not trying to make excuses, but maybe because of what it represents in that universe, that there's something to do with that planet in the bigger scheme of things.
Yeah, but like in every
Midichlorians
commentary,
or
like in
something
comics
like
and movies and stuff, Tatooine's just a dirt hole out in the middle of nowhere. But it's like every important storyline ever in Star Wars goes to that goddamn planet.
Maybe that's the trick.
Yeah.
that planet means something, and we want it to.
It's just
you're
funny.
talking to the wrong person. I will justify everything Star Wars.
Well, yeah, listen, I'm not hating. The other thing I always thought, so when they're fighting, they called it a crate dragon, or if you want to call it a tremor snakeoid.
Yeah, it was a snakeoid.
It was shot acid out its mouth. To kill it, he goes inside it, and then when he comes out, he's covered in the acid.
But it's on his armor, and
it's also on the cloth on his neck and stuff. So I was like, I overlooked it. It's whatever. But I was because even Michelle said, wouldn't he be kind of burnt up? I was like,
not Mando.
Not Mando, but spoiler alert. And of course, they referred to the original Boba Fett at the very end. That's the actual actor who played Jango Fett in the. So they're going to obviously bring in Boba Fett at some point. He's going to confront Mando. I don't know if it's the next episode or later in the season, but. So we're not going to go every week. I figured we just do it is a premiere. Now, I will say I watched it Friday at like 6 o'clock, and it chugged a couple times because I imagine everyone in the fucking country was watching it at the same
I'll tell you
time.
this, I watched it about 4 o'clock on Friday, and mine didn't chug at all.
Yeah, I was in prime time Friday
Yeah.
the day it was released, and I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah,
I should have waited to a different day. But so we'll come back at the end of the season and talk about it again. We don't need to go week to week unless we run short on content, then we might.
or if it's just that good.
Yeah, if it's just that good or something crazy happens. So Bill Burr's obviously scheduled to come back. So the girl from the first season, the UFC fighter girl.
And they also brought back the chick that with the androids working on his ship and all that. It ties the first
Which I was surprised he
season.
didn't leave the child with her while he went out and did his
Yeah, but it was
adventure.
kind of cool. He's just smurfing around.
He's sitting in that fucking little lap thing.
Oh my god!
So
he's the child. He's 50. I can't get enough of that show, man. I just love it.
So let's skip a little bit ahead. And Bill, you saw the first season, or at least parts of the first season this week. What are your thoughts so far as you're watching it?
Okay, well, first of all, I'm a little irritated with Charles here because he's just completely wrong about this show. this show is freaking phenomenal. Right?
Charles can
no
undersell
justice
it. I
to this
undersell it
show
every year.
whatsoever. He didn't do this show justice even slightly. This show is fucking awesome. All right, the only reason that I'm only halfway through the first season as opposed to all the way through is that I've been having to handle stuff that I didn't want to have to handle over the weekend. Otherwise, I'd already be caught up. Okay, so this show is great, despite all the
I'm
little
sorry
wishy-washy
to send you down.
all this stuff that Charles is talking about. Okay, I mean Baby Yoda, baby. Okay, great. Other than, I mean, it makes it sound like there was nothing else to it than Baby Yoda. But okay, but yeah, no. So he doesn't know justice at all. You know what? You're better than that, Charles. No,
I'll try to up my game, BB.
Yeah, in all
Sweet
seriousness, this
revenge.
show surprised the hell out of me because I really only half expected to be like, well, all right, this is okay, and it drew me in immediately. In fact, kind of been listening to you pick it apart a little bit, Steve. I'm kind of glad that I don't have the background in Star Wars the way that I do because I don't have any of that going on. I'm just into the story. Yeah. So I mean, I was it. You are wrong in that you thought I wouldn't really like it, Charles. I mean, in all seriousness, I don't think you thought I'd like it very much, and I can understand why. But no, it's a really good, just really good, really entertaining. Of course, I don't have a backstory every time they go somewhere. Who the people are.
And I love that backstory. That show does so well that I keep underselling all the time. They always like to touch on little things because it's written. Yeah. It's definitely fans have all the touches on it, and that's what makes it so good.
It's just not like you to undersell things that way. So
I try not to.
But yeah,
I'll up it next week.
Complete convert though. I'm all about the show. I know you said you're not talking about it from episode to episode, but by the time we join next week, I will be caught up with the show.
Oh, all right. Well, of course you'll have to give us the full
what's
review
what's the biggest highlight for BV? Is it the tone of it? What from a non-Star Wars person? When I saw Baby Yoda, I wanted to cry. But I'm saying, like, what is what is BV drawn to you? Like, what draws you to the show? Is it just the way that they tell the story? Is it the tone that they set, like the spaghetti western tone of it? What is your theory? Like,
I do like the way they're telling the story. I also like how they're very sort of, maybe not that slowly, but for an 8 episode season, sort of peeling back the inner workings of Mando. That he starts out, he's some sort of half automated bounty hunter and this and the other, and then to see him sort of get connected, and then particularly when he's getting the hell kicked out of him by that mud ward or whatever they called it. That and then Yoda, he sees that he's using the frickin' Force to save his life, and he ends up getting kind of connected, and just the way the story kind of well, first of all, I mean, it hits all the boxes. The action scenes are really cool. I really enjoyed the action that's gone on in it so far. Loved how he ended up whacking the droid bounty hunter. That was nice. And then but you can see him getting you could see him sort of like humanizing on a lot more, whereas I think in the beginning the point was to make him very inhuman.
Yeah.
And so I'm interested to see where it goes. The one thing I'd say is that, I mean, having some idea, obviously, I know enough about Star Wars to know where Yoda ends up. So from that perspective, I know where he'll eventually land.
That's not Yoda, though, right?
Yeah, that's a different character, BB.
I didn't know that. I thought that was supposed to.
It's okay. Yoda's species, but it's like at this point Yoda's dead because this takes place after Return of the Jedi.
See, this is one of those things BB just doesn't know the background.
Yeah, it's one of the
first... I thought it was okay. I thought this was like some prequel where it was Yoda.
No, yeah. So that makes it even more special because they don't know where the hell to do with this thing.
And so as a fan, you're like, well, what's the story with this? Like all of a sudden there's a second Yoda.
Well, this actually feels like, because the part that confused me is when they kept talking about the Empire doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, because this is after Return of the Jedi.
Okay. So, so I mean, I can't speak to it the way you guys can, but I'm also not going to undersell it the way Charles did it.
I'll try to bring up my game next time.
It's by far the best episodic show I've seen in quite a long time.
Yeah, it's good. See, Charles, we've converted another one.
I'm trying. Well,
if you had a little more excitement, you would have watched it a lot.
I could just bring it up a little bit. More people would watch.
You only spent like $5,000 in Baby Yoda equipment, but you need to get it up a little bit. All right, so there we go. The Mandalorian. I mean, we're not preaching to the choir. Everyone at this point who's into it has already seen it or know about it. Even Bill is watching it, so can't say enough good things about it. Of course, now this is one thing I wanted to go on. Call of Duty Modern Warfare has a thing called Warzone. And I've told you before, I play with Gabe and them.
This is Battle Royale.
Battle Royale, it's a big map, and you start with 50 teams, and basically the last team standing wins. So what they did for Halloween is pretty cool. So first off, they made the map all at night, so everything's dark, which hasn't been at this point. They shrunk the map down a little bit, so you're only in a certain area. And then when you die, so you got 3 members of your team, you die, you come back as a zombie. And you can find 2 syringes. If you find 2 of those, you inject yourself, you can come back human again and join your team. So it's kind of cool. And zombies aren't affected by the gas that keeps shrinking the map. So you can run around the gas and not even get hurt. So it ends up being chaos because they made it so small. And you got like 60 zombies running around trying to kill you because every human they kill, they get a syringe. So that's why they want to kill you. And it's like, dude, it does make you jump a couple times.
Can you kill the zombie off the rest of the way?
Yeah, you can kill him. You shoot him in the head and stuff. Here's the thing. Zombies don't show up on any of your radars.
Oh,
humans will, but zombies won't because there's no blood pumping through them, so no heat signature.
Yeah.
So you'll be sitting there, all of a sudden something just starts clawing you, spin around, it's a fucking zombie, you're dead. So
how do they get to kill you? They got to get up on close quarters.
Yeah, and then claw you to death. They also have like a gas grenade they could throw and an EMP that like turns all your equipment off. So they got those 2 things, and then they got a super jump. So you be in night, also you see a zombie jumping over your head.
That sounds really fun.
It is crazy, and it's only until November 3rd. So it was last week.
They're gonna shut it off.
And then they're gonna shut. It's like a Halloween special thing. They also released skins. You had to buy these though. One was Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy. You can get that look and walk around with the machine gun, and the Saw guy. They have an outfit for the Saw guy. So
it seems crazy that it's timed. That's crazy.
Yeah. So it's only until November 3rd. The skins that once you buy them though, you have them for life. But so zombie thing. Gabe, I and Tyler were playing it. It gets intense. It goes so fast. You're like, what the hell? And to win, you have to be alive as a human. Your team has to be the last one standing.
Okay.
Yeah. So even if I'm human and Gabe and Tyler are zombies, if I'm the last one, we won.
You're a member of that
but
team.
If all 3 of you are zombies, you're done. The
team is out.
Yeah. So zombie mode. You only have 2 more days to play it. A lot of fun.
Sounds like get after it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Free download, free upgrade, free.
Warzone you can play for free. You can download the Warzone, but the other parts of the game you can't. But yeah, you can play that for free. Of course, the new November 13th. So we got 12 days before the new Call of Duty comes out. That's the Cold War. They're hiding. You're going to be fighting against Russians and stuff in the Cold War. That comes out in 2 weeks, and it's supposed to be in the 80s. So there's like one scene. It's like a bar with the neon lights, and you're shooting through the bar and stuff. Looks pretty cool. So it's
a different take on it.
Yeah, we haven't done the Cold War yet, right?
I don't
remember.
So, yeah.
We've had a shitload of World War II, and then there was the modern stuff.
There's
that's
some
about it.
stuff in there a little bit.
A little bit of Nam with the Black Ops, right?
Yeah, Black Ops stuff.
Yeah, so Cold War is a whole new thing, so I probably have to get that one, Cold War. Then I'll crack through it in a day.
Then you, Gabe, and Tyler are all about it.
Yeah, so Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Halloween Warzone it's called. You got till 2 more days, and then it's over. So, Charles, I didn't get to this one. I did want to watch it. But I don't know now. Witches on HBO Max. Tell us about that one.
Yeah, so Halloween was a little kooky this year. So me, my wife, and my kiddo stayed home, trying to be responsible citizens. And we ended up watching The Witches on HBO Max. This is the Anne Hathaway, Octavia Spencer. It also has Stanley Tucci in it.
Yeah.
This movie's terrible.
Now, this is supposed to be based on the guy who wrote Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, right?
Okay, and you need to watch Willy Wonka and avoid this movie.
Okay.
It's super digital. Basically the premise is that witches of the world want to kill off all the kids. They don't like children. So they're always trying. So then the grandma of this little boy whose parents both got killed starts raising and it's voiced by Chris Rock as the narrator for the little boy. She's obviously like a healer or like this person that can make stuff, but she's had witch run-ins in the past. And they end up going to this hotel to look for this one particular witch that she had run-ins with. And all the witches were having like a convention about talking about killing. And the main witch is Anne Hathaway. And Anne Hathaway, first of all, is gorgeous. I don't know, I don't know if you guys have an opinion, but
She's a pretty
very
girl.
attractive young lady. But I don't even know if she's young anymore at this point, lady. But so basically all the kids in the movie get turned into mice. And then the whole movie is like Octavia Spencer with these 3 mice, one of which the Octavia Spencer character bought for the grandson and didn't know it was another person. And then there's another kid in the hotel that gets... And so it's like weird capers against these witches with these 3 mice. And that's the whole movie taking place in this hotel. And then they basically... Obviously, they go after the witches with this weird potion and turn them into rats. And then that's the whole movie. And then at the end, Octavia Spencer takes all 3 as mice and just leaves and goes around the world killing other witches with the potion. That's
So it turns into the Secret of Nymph at one
yeah,
point?
that's what I said. I go, there's so like Octavia Spencer is Octavia Spencer the whole movie as the grandma, but then literally it's with 3 mice, and that's I'm like,
It never
I
turns
said,
them back into
no.
a grandkid?
I was like, wait, what? They're just gonna remain as mice? Like, what is this?
Okay.
It's
Now-
also got really kind of mediocre effects throughout it. Like, there's definitely some budget restraints on the digital on it too, and you're just like, like it's just this movie is. I get HBO Max. Probably paid some money for it or did whatever. I don't know. This
Now,
movie is
did
not good.
Lorna enjoy it?
Yeah, I mean, I guess Lorna thought it was okay. I mean, she definitely we didn't finish it, and Lorna was like, "Oh man, is there a sequel coming out to this or anything like that?" It just this movie is mediocre. I mean, there's no other way around it. I'd give it like a streaming 5. This is really just like.
There's a reason they sold it to a streaming service?
Yeah, I don't know, man. But I think they could have put it in theaters. But again, it'd have been one of those things in theaters where people went and saw it and was like, yeah, okay. You know, it just, what a weird movie. It's not even weird. Just like you're watching it going like, oh, there's a lot of names in this. But like, what? Like, it just,
wow.
awful movie.
Well, yeah,
So-
you're making me glad I didn't watch it. I was going to watch it, but now
I mean, you
the
can
mice
watch
thing,
it, but like, yeah, it's just, and at the end, you're waiting for the little kids to get
So-
changed back, and they just never do.
I got a choice between American Pickle or this. Which one?
How much American Pickle in a heartbeat over there?
Okay, I'm going to go with
Oh,
American Pickle.
all day over there.
American
yeah,
Pickle,
for
all right.
sure. American Pickle was still pretty decent. This movie, I was just like, what on earth? Yeah, so,
So, Charles, you may or may
Yeah.
not know that Netflix recently announced they're raising prices.
yes.
So please tell us about the Roundup being happening on Netflix.
I was going to do a quick roundup because, like Steve has talked about, we're kind of running a little lean on TV.
Yep.
And I've got a lot of streaming services that we chronicled on this show. I've got Hulu, Disney Plus, HBO Max,
ESPN Plus.
I got ESPN Plus. I got a lot of streaming services. Plus, I got Netflix. So I was like, oh well, let me see what's going on Netflix. So Netflix,
You got them all but Amazon.
and I have Amazon right now because I told you I had to buy
You
that.
got Amazon.
I got that month that I had to buy for the pots and pans. But
Okay.
so, and Netflix did a move where it's getting kind of lean on Netflix. There's a British baking show, which again, amazing. You need to be watching that.
Is
if
it
you
worth
have
$20 a
Netflix.
month?
What's that?
Is the British Baking Show worth $20 a month?
No, it's not. And what you would do is wait till the whole season's on there, pop a month, and get out.
Oh, yeah.
So they basically are taking, from what I gather, all the international Netflix, they're taking their best shows and bringing them to the U.S. Netflix. So I'm going to give you 3 shows,
Now, the second one I heard of, and I was almost watched it.
and you did yourself a good favor by not watching it.
It's got that chick on that cover, right?
Yeah,
She's
with
wearing
the like eye
red.
patchy looking thing.
Yeah, it looks like a video game almost.
Awful.
Okay, never mind.
Okay, so the first one I saw was a German show called Oktoberfest Beer and Blood. This is a German show.
Are they speak English or all German?
No, they will dub it, so you don't have to read. I know you have a hard on for that. I like it in their native language. I have a big thing with that. I'll read subtitles. You don't like to do that. I do like to do that. I like the actors' performances.
Bill, you subtitle or dub? Which one are you going?
Probably subtitle.
Yeah, see,
I just don't like reading.
because you're dumb.
I don't want to tell anybody. Haters, Hobby.
The words go too fast. I can't keep up with their speeches.
I gotta pause it.
Their speeches go by too fast.
Listen.
So anyway, Steve's stupidity notwithstanding, Oktoberfest.
Beer and blood.
Beer and blood. I almost lost the name of this epic show. This is about. It's a wannabe German Peaky Blinders. It's kind of set up in that same era.
Okay.
And this is about a ruthless man setting up a beer tent that he's taking over and buying the land to put up a beer tent on. This show's terrible.
That sounds terrible.
It was terrible.
People need to die because he needs to make a beer tent?
Yeah, and he's like super ruthless about it and stuff. You're just like, wait, what? He's putting up a beer tent. Like, what are we talking about? Terrible. The next one, the one that Steve just discussed, Barbarians. Okay?
It piqued my interest, not going to lie.
And I'll tell you this. So there's Roman people, and this is about the Germans, barbarians being Germanic in nature and all this kind of stuff. It's like, what is that terrible old show, Rome? Oh. And then you factor in the pretty well-received History Channel Viking show.
Yeah.
And then you knock the production value down like 3 notches. That's the show.
So it's 5 cosplayers just like Barbarians?
It's terrible. They go and they take a scepter in the first episode from the Romans, and that was like everyone's too clean. I hate when people are too clean.
Oh, yeah.
That makes me nuts for some reason. Like, everyone stunk and is dirty back in the day. Like, no one wants to act like that's not the case. It drives
Full
me
disclosure, sometime this week or next week, Randy will tell me, I watched the show Barbarians. It was awesome.
well,
Full disclosure.
Yeah, his fault. Terrible. Avoid this show.
Okay.
On to
I never heard of this one.
La Revolution. This is a French show talking about the French Revolution. But then we went into like a weird Creole thing or like Hindu-y thing. And then there was like a doctor in a prison. And then he wanted to go do an autopsy then we didn't. I'm like, this is supposed to be about the French Revolution. Like, I was thinking, I loved a show with that. I think his name was Reese something, Jonathan Rhys Meyers or something back in the day called The Tutors.
Yeah, I bet.
The Tutors is a great
Superman
show.
was in that too. Henry Cavill.
Oh, he was? Great show.
Yep.
One of those shows that Heather and I know would
A little
call.
slow, but it was pretty good.
I enjoyed the hell out of that show because it was based in. I thought
That was a
this
Showtime show, wasn't it?
something like that. Yeah. And I thought that this was going to be like a French version of The Tutors, hoping to learn maybe about like the French Revolution or in that time. This show's terrible. I'm like, dude, Netflix, kiss my ass. I'm holding out. The Crown is supposed to be back, but I'm going to start looking with one eye about maybe jumping out of Netflix for a little while.
You think
they're running lean on the contento?
You think the Netflix CEOs are looking at the guys with Stranger Things, but hurry the fuck up with that
Dude,
season 4.
I'm telling you.
And they're looking at, I know you don't like it, but the Witcher guys, let's hurry that up a little bit.
I'm just telling you.
That's
'cause
their 2
it
biggest
is-
shows right now.
So at the same time that they announce a price hike, I'm looking at this service going like, what are you giving me? Like, okay, I'm going to watch The Crown. I love The Crown. I think that's a great show. Steve's doesn't watch it or isn't
I've
into
never
it.
watched it, no.
Great show. It's about the British monarchy and it's wins tons of awards and it's well worth it. I love Downton Abbey back in the day. Great. But other than that, Netflix, you are on a bubble, all right? I'm just going to tell you right now. I'm going to put you on a short
and with
leash.
COVID, there's no comedy specials, right? There's no one's taping
content
those.
for that. Yeah, The Cabin was okay with the Burt Kreischer stuff. I like Burt Kreischer way more than the average person, so that's why I'll give that a pass. I'm just telling you, man, these were terrible.
It's lean pickings.
And you're going to discuss in the animation corner
Another
terrible Netflix show that you're going to try to justify thinking it's better than it was, and it was poop too.
Bill, are you watching anything currently on Netflix?
No.
See? Nothing on Netflix.
Yeah, it's slim pickings on that.
So Charles, I don't know what this is. I must have missed this somewhere because I don't even have this in any of my previews or anything.
Okay.
Dave on FX
All right.
via Hulu.
So I got, and again, I want to preface by saying we're in that lull area where like I'm missing. Okay, so
I watch FX shows and I've yet to see A preview for Dave. Anyways, go ahead.
Okay, it was a quieter one. It came out kind of after.
I watch Fargo every week. I've never heard of Dave.
Came out after Atlanta.
Okay.
Okay, so let me set this show up.
And this is your little icon guy on your face.
Yeah, so that's the guy who plays it. He's a comedian, but he also goes by this name, Little Dicky. Okay.
Little Dicky.
All right, so the premise of Dave is he's a Jewish man who has all aspirations to be a rapper. White guy, wants to be a rapper. He's super serious about it, but no one takes him serious.
Okay.
He has a roommate named Andrew, played by Andrew Santino, the guy with the really red hairs, always on Joe Rogan and stuff like that.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
you've seen that
yeah.
comedian. Okay. There's a new thing with all things television, and BV can co-sign this because he watched Ballers. There's a new thing where, like, you have a loose premise of a TV show, and you basically just bring in a bunch of guest stars, and that somehow creates a television show. So in this one, we bring in YG the rapper, and we have Dave spit rhymes and have some loose story premise so that we can shoehorn in YG. Then the next episode, we have another random-ass modern rapper. We shoehorn that in. The problem is it's probably fun for like this weird TikTok generation that Holly's a part of and all this kind of stuff.
But they're not watching FX.
And so that's my point. Like, and Ballers and BV, I'm sure will co-sign this because Ballers love to do that. Hey, take an NFL player.
Yeah, here's Ndamukong Suh this episode.
Shoehorn him in. Oh, here's Terrell Suggs. Look at this. We have a loose premise with a bunch of co-stars, like our guest stars, and this is supposed to be cool. And that's this show to a T, except the only premise is it's got some funny bits where you can see where like stand-up comedians wrote it and all this kind of stuff, and there's some funny things. But at the same time, this show sucks.
Is he even a good rapper?
Okay, so at the one point where he spits mad rhymes for YG, he can all of a sudden start dropping it down, ba 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 ba, and he can do it. But then like no one takes him serious in real life, so it's like it's just tonally it's just stupid. It's just there's no other way around it because you know, like I said, like it's not Malibu's Most Wanted with Jamie Kennedy where he's like, you know, like this weird kid, like, oh, you know, but like he obviously has some skill, and then he starts to get known because YG puts him on his Instagram because we got to put all these weird guest star buzzwords in here and all this kind of stuff. Because that's how modern TV apparently is. And, you know, like I said, the 20-somethings of the world eat this shit up and go, oh, man, did you see the episode of Dave with Lil Nas in it or whatever? And it's like, what the fuck? This show sucks.
So you're like 0 for 10 this week.
Yes. Basically, the moral of the story. BB, do you agree with me on the baller stuff sometimes?
Yeah, no, I do. And it's funny because I looked this up as you were talking. In one season of this show, Dave, 20 guest appearances.
Bingo!
Names like YG, Justin Bieber. I'm only going to name the ones I know because a lot of these are people I've never heard of.
I don't even know YG.
Macklemore, Young Thug, OT Genesis.
I don't know who
from,
that is.
In Love with the Coco fame.
Oh.
Rich Eisen.
I know that one.
Kourtney Kardashian, Charlemagne the God, Angela Yee. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of them are people that I'm sure if I were more, you know, if I were younger. And
oh my God, he's in the show. Like, could you imagine like that? And that Ballers, if you were to look up the same thing, Ballers did the same thing.
Yeah.
So 20 guest appearances in 10 episodes.
That's a lot of guest appearances.
And like I said, someone at home is like eating this shit up. Someone at home is going like, oh man, like this is amazing because I just saw OT Genesis on Dave. And it's like, okay, where's the funny part? Like, I don't know. Show sucks.
All right. So Charles struck out massively except for The Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian is that good.
Which he undersold.
Which he totally undersold. All right, let's go to my animation corner. It's time for everyone's favorite part. Time to talk about animation. I love animation. What I always say, what?
Nap time?
I always say anime. I have a very low bar for anime because none of it ever meets up. And now Netflix is offering us our latest one, Blood of Zeus. This is made by Powerhouse Animation. Powerhouse Animation, ironically, is not in Japan. It's in Texas. It's some suburb of Dallas is where they are headquartered. They will be making the new He-Man show that Kevin Smith is directing. They're going to be animating.
Oh my God, are you creaming in your
Oh
jeans?
my God!
You got Kevin Smith and this shitty animation house. Steve just came, ladies and gentlemen.
It's very
Steve
sticky over here.
just
It's very sticky.
spooched all in his drawers.
Make Spooch great
Oh
again.
my God.
It's jizz in my pants. The remake.
Dude,
so we'll
Steve
see.
came, people.
I'm hoping it's good.
Oh my God.
but-
you put Kevin Smith as Steve.
Before that, we watched Blood of Zeus.
I happened to catch the first episode
Charles
of this.
caught it.
You talked about it last week.
Yes, I did.
It was on the roundup of the
It was
not
a preview, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
where we go through and talk about it. And I think the animation is lacking. That's my opinion. I watched only the first episode because it's that terrible. I didn't continue to
I
watch
got
it.
news for you. It's one of the better animes.
Oh my God!
Animes
I
are hard to
talked
watch,
pre-show. The anime, the guys look half asleep. I don't know why their eyes are drawn in such a fashion. And Steve co-signed it when I showed him some
Yeah,
stills.
watching it without Charles, I never thought of that. And then,
Yeah.
and then when he showed me some stills, I was like, yeah, I guess you're kind of right.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, man, the eyes are dead.
It's essentially Clash of the Titans mixed with a dash of God of War is what this show is trying to be. Does it do it as good as those two properties? No, it does not. This screams of Steve 6. The Netflix 6.
I would argue you're being generous on this.
But I'm giving it a 6 because I've seen a lot of other animes that are way worse.
Oh my God.
At least this story made somewhat sense. You didn't watch all the story, so the story kind of made sense. The gods, Zeus and Hera, end up going to. They
yeah,
get
the
in a
main
war.
character's name is Heron, like heroin.
Yeah.
I was like, they're on Heron.
Yeah, so Hera and Zeus end up going to war because Zeus ended up sleeping with an Earth girl, and Hera's pissed off and jealous about it. That causes a god war, and the groups of gods split up into two categories. Meanwhile, his bastard son and his other son are warring on Earth. That's the main guy with the dead eyes and the other guy. I didn't think it was that bad, but it was nowhere close to being great. Very violent, a lot of blood, a lot of guts.
They
I don't know.
beheaded a guy.
Yeah, they really upped the violence in it. No real nudity or anything like that, so it's not like that crazy.
Well, the one chick god had her titties flopping all over the place. I
Oh
was
yeah,
like, Jesus.
yeah, the giant.
Is that necessary?
Yeah. So it's not great. It's not good. It's not bad, terrible as Charles thinks it is. It's a Steve 6.
It's not a 6.
I'd give it a
wrong,
6,
dude. It's
if you
gotta
like
be a 4.
Greek mythology, I think.
You got anime blinders on right there.
Well, anime's so bad. I can't. This one actually, the story made actually some sense. I was like, well, I gotta give him some points for that.
You're being way too nice.
I didn't think the animation was bad, as Charles said. I thought the gods looked good. I thought the giants looked good. Did you make it to the end where they fought the giants and the gods together? That was pretty good.
Where they laid out the story where they have them were red and have them were blue and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, and that's where the old girl with the floppy titties was running around. Like, what is this?
Well, I don't know. If you're into Greek mythology, I could see why you might like it. But
You're into Greek mythology. All 8 people in America who are into Greek
I don't
mythology.
know. I mean, Zeus is a pretty popular
You were
character.
grasping at straws,
They made a fucking Hercules movie for Disney. I don't
I'm
know.
telling you, man.
People know fucking
You're
Greek
being-
mythology.
No one can call you a hater zombie on this one because you're being way too nice.
I don't know. It's an animation 6. I think I'm on a drought now because that was the last thing.
Oh,
There ain't much left. At the
What
end,
I noticed on Netflix too, and again, I don't want to derail you, but it's kind of in vein with your conversation you're having right now. A lot of like those Joker anime movies are on Netflix. Was there like a big purge thing that happened where all
I
that
don't know
stuff?
what happened. All of a sudden,
Did you notice that? Yeah.
the Killing Joke showed up on Netflix
Yeah.
and they're promoting it. They must have bought the rights to
Yeah,
it.
weird.
AT&T must want to make 5 cents. And sold
Yeah,
it to them.
really weird.
Yeah, and then half of them aren't even on HBO. That's what's even funnier about it. So that's weird. The whole screen went blank. All right. So now we are going to have some previews. Now these are more traditional. HBO Max, not this year, but next year, is bringing back Tiny Toons. If anyone remembers those from the 90s.
Well, Animaniacs came back too, right?
That comes out, and that's the next November 20th on Hulu. Animaniacs are back as well. So both of those shows were on like channel 50 in the 90s when we were kids. Same station as Batman the Animated Series and all that. So
The best part of it was Pinky and the Brain. Was the best part. Yeah.
So they're going to be pulling on those nostalgia balls coming up here end of November. We'll have to check those out and see what's going on there. See if they keep anything or they should have just died back in the 90s. So that's my cartoon moment. And Charles shit all over it. He's
Don't
being a
watch
hater zombie.
A hater zombie that way. Don't watch this, people. Avoid this show with the flag. Don't let Steve.
What are they going to watch on Netflix at this point?
Anything. I
There's
don't know.
nothing left.
I got nothing. Watch British Baking Show.
Greek gods or a British baking show. All right. Bill, what happened on your picks this week and last week?
All right. Well, last week, took the Bills playing at the Jets. They were giving 10.5 points. And as Charles mentioned, as a big number. And the Bills in classic form won the game, but proceeded to kick 6 field goals, score no touchdowns, and win 18-10.
Just missed the number.
So the cold lock pick of the week last week takes the L, brings us back to 3-3.
Oh man!
Now this week, because of the timing of the show, I had to post my pick in advance, and now this game has already taken place. I'm happy to make it a 2-for though. I can add a second game, but the pick. Yeah, well, So my pick, cold lock pick of this week, since I failed to get over laying 10.5, I thought, what the hell, I'll lay 20.
When in doubt, double.
The KC Chiefs laying 20
covered,
points at home against the Jets. The game ends 35-9. They cover 4-3 on the year now.
Yeah, good job.
So it's
Because
not
I'd
on
have
the
told
show
you you're
notes.
nuts to go with that many points.
Well, I mean, the point, the thought process on this was the fact that unlike the Bills, the Chiefs don't really have offensive lulls; they actually score.
And you were still pissed at the Jets.
Well, yeah, well that and there weren't that many games that I was comfortable with this week at all. Just because even ones where I felt pretty good, there were so many games in like 25 to 40 mile an hour winds today that just the passing games were going to be tough to work with, and so I wasn't comfortable picking anything. I will, for the sake of putting one that we can talk about next week, I will add an additional game that I actually just put a bet on here about 20 minutes ago as we were talking about something else. I will be taking, and this is sort of like in a reversal of our Super Bowl picks, I will be taking the Philadelphia Eagles laying 10 points against the Cowboys this evening.
Some big spreads.
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
big, right?
it's a big spread. A few things. All right. First, the game's at Philadelphia. Second, Dallas is on the verge of legitimate quitting. I mean, Andy Dalton got destroyed last week. He basically got concussed into 2 years from now. And nobody even freaking comes to his defense.
I was
They
say
just sit
no
there
one
and
helped
watch
him.
watch him just lay out like a little bitch. And then the last reason for this that I'm picking the Eagles, although I'm not impressed with the Eagles any more than I'm impressed with Dallas for the most part. They're starting, the Cowboys are starting at quarterback, Ben Narducci. Now, for those who don't know Ben Narducci,
That's everyone.
I'm with you on this. I believe he was I can't remember if it was a 5th or 6th round pick this year, so he's a rookie from the college football juggernaut of James Madison, which I believe is an FCS school, not an FBS school. So clearly, I think the intent in drafting Ben DiNucci was not to have him starting midway through the season in his rookie year. He's going to be horribly overwhelmed. The team, the offensive line, like half the offensive line's out for the year. He's going to get no blocking. They're not going to be able to protect him well at all, and he's going to be completely just overwhelmed. So I'm comfortable laying the 10 points here, even though I'm not particularly impressed with the Eagles' offense. And we'll have that to discuss next week.
In all seriousness, there's no one better than Ben Bartucci or Gartucci. I mean, you can't give Kaepernick a call. I mean, you can say what you want about him. I'm pretty sure he's better than that guy.
Yeah,
At
exactly
least he
the
could run
point.
for his life. Yeah.
But you're asking for Jerry Jones to
I guess you got
deal
a
with that.
You can't
And
contact
he's
San
been-
Diego for Tyrod Taylor?
He's got a hole in his lung.
He's still better than Darducci.
Yeah, I don't know. They reported they were looking
I'm
for
sorry.
David.
It's I'm sorry, not
What-
Narducci.
what is it?
Dinucci.
Danucci?
Dinucci.
Even worse.
How could you mess up his name? He's been around the league for so long.
Danucci. I mean, Jesus Christ. You tell me this is their only quarterback option? I mean,
Everybody else is dead. Yes.
I still don't. I will stick with. I don't like giving 10 points in the NFL. That's still my
don't think
point.
I'm 80% of Bill. Dallas quit. They're done.
They did quit though. I know exactly what BB's on.
24 to
no
10
one helped Dalton
Eagles.
get. What is it?
24-10 Eagles.
I'm still gonna go 50-50. 10 points is too much. 50-50 is too
All
much.
right.
I don't
All
like
right. We'll have to
Well, like
find
they
out next
say.
week.
When the going gets tough, quit. When life feeds you lemons, quit.
Yeah, so all right, there you go. I like Bill's Chiefs Jets pick though. That was a bit ballsy, but then again, Chiefs just score like mad, and Jets are a train wreck. So
That's 20 points.
but man, those Bills fucked him. They scored one touchdown, Bill covers. One more touchdown, Bill covers, but they fucked. His own squad screwed him over. All right, so let's go to the review. We're running a little long, so we're gonna have a 3-hour podcast.
Who cares?
Who cares? All right, Charles, we talked about it before, and I'm stuck to some Velcro.
You're live on your cam there. So
Which name?
Your camera.
Which one? So this is the Oculus Quest 2. Oculus? I don't know. How to say that.
Yeah, I can tell.
Now, when you buy the game, it's $300, and that's probably a big draw to it because you know.
Hold on.
Okay.
How hard is that to find?
Not hard. I went right to BestBuy.com.
Mm-hmm.
It was right there in stock. This was 4 days after it was released.
Oh, okay.
Bought it, picked it up at the store. I didn't have a problem.
All
I don't know if they're still hard to find now. I don't know.
You
if
don't
they,
know the status of them
I
right
know-
now,
yeah.
but at the time, close to release date, wasn't hard to get a hold of.
Yeah, it was not hard at all. Now, this headset comes with 2 controllers, if you can see them on here. It also comes with an extension. God damn it. This extension is for people with glasses, allegedly. Now, Michelle put it on with glasses, didn't have a problem. So what?
I don't need an extension on the PlayStation.
Yeah, I don't think you'll
one
need it either.
Yeah.
So this thing is built so it all pops apart.
It's very modular.
Yeah, and you can pop it apart. You put the extension in there, it makes it a
Mm-hmm.
little longer, and then pop it back in like so. Now, this headrest wrap on the back of it, this isn't what comes with it. It comes with 3 white Velcro strips, and you adjust them on your head. Now, I'm not gonna lie, they're terrible. The original head strap with this is terrible.
So that hard plastic you're showing me is an upgrade you
This
purchased.
is an upgrade, $50.
Jesus.
So now I'm up to $350. So
Yeah,
now,
wow.
So now the pricing is cool, but it's still wireless, so that's cool. So I highly suggest if anyone gets this, get this because those straps. I tried them for a day, and I was like, I need the head.
It's
strap.
just loosey goosey because the weight of the headset.
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
Strap
The
is
default straps that come with this thing are terrible, and they know that. So they're kind of this should become
Yeah,
by
yeah,
default.
yeah, wow.
This makes it just like your PlayStation.
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
So you
It's
just
got a very similar mech to
yeah,
it and
yeah,
everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
And then you have a little Velcro on top to make it a little tighter.
Yeah.
And for me, the tighter you get it, the more clear the picture comes in.
You want that focus to be really good with VR
Yeah.
headsets. Is the key is the focus with
Yep.
something so close to your eye.
Yes. So, and this has a built-in battery into it, and then it has volume. So now more expensive sets have the Vive has those speakers that come down and stick. This has, if you can look in here, these little slits are 2 speakers.
They'll fire towards your ears.
Yeah, and then you got the volume right here, and it's pretty good sound. I mean, obviously it's not as good as a surround sound headset's going to be, but it's pretty decent. And I that's pretty much all I've used while playing it. I did do one where I put a game headset on, but then I got a wire from the game headset, and it's just so big and bulky with
and
the
you get
headset.
those enormous.
Yeah, and Logitech does make earbuds and a headset for it. So this is by Oculus. It's also owned by Facebook, and I'll get to why that's a negative for some people. Now, I will say these are the controllers. They call these touch controllers. I don't know why they call them touch controllers. But
So now hold on before you go on.
go ahead.
You don't need a camera to see that. All the stuff, the spatial stuff that the PlayStation VR has, it's baked into the
Yes.
device.
I don't have any cameras or nodes around my room. All you do is put that on and hold these.
Yeah.
And that is it. So you don't have to, like I know the one expensive set, you got to put things up in
those
your
four
corner.
corners,
Yeah.
yeah,
You don't have to do any of that.
Yeah.
So when you launch it, it'll start calibrating. And so you got to put one of these near the ground so it knows the ground level.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can draw a play area. So if you're staying in the middle of the room, you can physically draw out a play area that you're going to play in.
So that makes it better for people who have size constraints of the room.
Which is my problem.
Yeah.
So also, there's also an option you can do standalone, which means you tell it, I don't want a play area, but my play area is just going to be me here, so I can't run around. And it'll adjust to however space you have, which is cool. I like that. So now with these controllers, these are just AA batteries. And I don't know what magic they put in these things. It's still charged at 100%. It's been a week. So there's pretty good battery life in these.
But that's annoying.
It is annoying.
Yeah.
But I will say it's been a solid week of playing with it. And you could see the battery life in the headset of your controllers.
Yeah.
And they both say 100% still.
Yeah, I know.
We'll
I
see.
would swap those for rechargeables.
We'll see how long before these die. And
How
I'll
hard
tell
is
you.
to swap them? I don't even see like a little cover.
This pops off.
Oh, okay. Not too bad.
So yeah, it pops right off. But the neat thing about these things, so in a lot of games, you got a floating hand, right? You hit this trigger, that'll grab with this hand.
Mm-hmm.
This trigger will control this finger.
I get you.
And then this thumbstick will control your thumb. So you can go like this. So essentially, you can move like this. Now, one thing cool, not all games do it, but the Quest headset has hand tracking. So you don't even need those controllers on certain games and certain things.
Those cameras are down-firing cameras are actually seeing
Your hands. So to hit a button, you just pinch, or you can do Tony Stark style.
Yeah, that's cool.
Not all games do use your hand. Most of them will use the controllers, but there's apps specifically built for Oculus Quest where you can just use your hands, which is pretty cool. That's really immersive. That makes you feel like Tony Stark for a couple minutes. You're like, oh, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But then you realize you ain't much to do with it.
Yeah.
You gotta pick up the controllers and play the game. So that's all cool. I like all that. Now, one thing I did invest in. So $300 and then the $50 for the headset S350. You're in reasonable price range. Okay, I paid $400 for a PS4. So, all right.
We're not getting crazy.
We're not getting crazy yet. But now, if you want the power link that they sell, it's $80.
So the power link that you're referring to is the ability to tether that to a PC and use it as a PC headset.
Yes, exactly. So you have Steam or Origin, or you have some cool the Star Wars Squadron game on your Origin account. You connect this to your PC. Now, this is an alternative. This is a $25 USB-C 3 cord I got off of Amazon instead of buying the $80 power. All the first-party stuff is going to be, like anything, super pricey. Find the alternatives. That's my advice to everybody. But they don't make an alternative for the head wrap. You're kind of screwed there. Not yet, anyway. It's probably in a year or so.
Yeah, there's a Mad Cats. Yeah.
But with that, you can play the big game on Steam, Half-Life Alyx. You can play Star Wars Squadron. That's, all that stuff. And of course, before I was telling Charles, there is a downside. You got to do all your PC. You got to turn the headset on first, then connect it, then launch your Steam. Don't launch your Steam first before the headset.
Jump through some PC hoops.
Yeah, of course. And if anyone's played PC games, they know that. So, positives. It's got a pretty good chunk of games. I still think PlayStation might have more games as far as just the Oculus ones, but
it doesn't have the Half-Life Alyx though.
And then with the Link, you get more games. So technically, it beats out the PlayStation because of all the other. But if you just had the Oculus Store, I think the PlayStation beats it. But with the Oculus Store, the Steam Store, and the Origin Store, now you got PlayStation beat. But the Steam and Origin, you're going to be with the cord, where everything else is going to be cordless. So like I said, some of the cons, some of the accessories are expensive. The power cord, $80. That's ridiculous. This head strap should come with it, not charge $50. And the one thing everyone online hates, and I'm going to say it right now, you have to have a Facebook account.
As we stream live to Facebook.
For me, not a big deal. I have a Facebook account. Bill has a Facebook account, whatever. And all your games you buy are tied
and
to
if
that
I was
account.
ever going to go on, I'd just figure out a way to cheese an account.
Yeah, just make an account, throw up a couple fake things, and you're good to go.
Done.
So people just hate it. They absolutely hate the fact that Facebook's part of it, and that's the number one knock. For me, not a big deal, but for you, maybe.
Let me ask a question, too. Besides for the account tie-in, is there like a weird VR built version of Facebook or anything like that? Like, what is...
There's some apps you can get, but of course, I didn't download them. I don't.
I just am curious.
There's a
what
handful of social apps. So it's called Oculus Venue, where you go in. There's a bunch of whoever else is on their Oculus is in these rooms, and they'll have like a movie you can watch. You have a game you can all play together, or like a sporting event. The thing you saw. The commercial for
Jonah Hill.
Hill, that's what he was doing is those venues. So that's all social. It's supposed to be social and stuff like that. So it doesn't push it crazy, but it's there. So I don't know. I really like it so far. It's been about a week. I didn't want to review it right away. I wanted to put some time into it, played some games. Of course, there's a learning curve. I always say that. My wife, if Michelle can get it, and she got it down where she could play Beat Saber and she could play a little bit of the Vader game. If she can handle it, I think just about anybody else can handle it. And also cool is while you're playing, you could stream your play to an iPad or a phone.
So you can see what you're doing.
So I can see what she's doing and kind of help her.
And that was the one nice thing about with the way that the PlayStation VR is set up is that I can at least see on the TV like what you're doing in that game. That is a nice viewing experience for when you're hanging out with a couple people. You can see what's going on with that person in the headset.
There is also an option too to share. Like if I am playing Vader's game, I can share it to my Facebook page and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Also, I found this one on accident. You from inside the headset, you can cast like a Chromecast. So if you had a Chromecast on your TV, I can pull up everything I'm doing on there too. So,
but you should never have a Chromecast on your television.
No, Chromecast is terrible. But you can do it. It's there. So I like it so far. It's wireless. It's $300 for me. It's the best deal I can find in VR so far without a shitload.
Especially
of
with a
wires.
PC.
Yeah, because they get expensive. You can spend up to $600 on a Vive and maybe they are
Rift or whatever they.
Yeah, and some of those you do need the space, and you can't just paint a little area to play. So it's all depending on what you have and what you want to spend. Thumbs up to me right now. It's an 8 out of 10. I haven't. Now there have been reports online that people are breaking their head strap. I'm gauging their kids, and they're just, as an adult,
the plastic one.
Yeah, they've been cracking it here. I don't know how they're doing that. I don't know what the hell they're doing, but
they're really ratcheting that boy down.
yeah. So that's good. Now, each week, once a month, if we can, Charles or I'd like to just promote some VR so people can see it and kind of see what's going on. The first game I played, we're gonna go with is Vader Immortal. If you're a Star Wars fan, this is the game. Now, there's two or three types of VR games to me. There's the quick arcadey ones, which Heather loves, or
like a tech demo.
Yeah. The Beat Saber's arcadey. Technically, you could say Tetris is too. This is more of a story-based one. This one feels like a 3D ride at like Disneyland, or that's what it reminds me of, anyways. And you can walk up walls. You got to fight a 4-armed Rancor monster in one of the stages. You got to fight a TIE fighter. You have a lightsaber. You have to block the bolts as they come at you. There's a lot of stormtroopers coming at you. You got to block their bolts. You also get thermal detonators to throw. And then actually you duel Darth Vader in parts of the show. And was one of the coolest things, I'll give him really credit for. At the very end, you fight Vader again, and he just kicks your ass.
No, really?
But you just pull a scheme to get away, and you leave. So it actually paints Vader very strong and powerful in it.
Cool.
So that's pretty cool. You don't see that very often. I thought for sure I'd just kick his ass and then leave or whatever. No, he beat my ass. So I thought that was funny. And it's got the dojo in it, and that's the part Michelle likes. It's no real story. You're just practicing. It's got those little things. Remember Luke Skywalker's blocking?
Yeah.
You got those, and you got
blaster shield down.
yeah, you got stormtroopers coming at you, and you got rounds, and it goes on to like 20 rounds or something like that. She likes that the most. I like the story part. High thumbs up for it. $30 for all 3 chapters, about 35 to 40 minutes a chapter. VR games aren't very long, except for Half-Life Alyx. So I'd give it at least a solid 8. I enjoyed it a lot. So far, it's one of my favorite things on there. And then I'd also play Tetris Effect. I was telling Charles before the podcast. Essentially, you're playing Tetris with all these weird 3D effects around you. And every 30 lines you make, you go to another stage with more stuff. It's $30.
It's just Tetris.
It's just Tetris. It should be $10.
Yeah.
And it might have been cool, like I was telling Charles, if you could have moved the blocks with your hand, but you don't. You play.
You're clicking a button.
Yeah, you click the button and press down on the analog. Yeah,
it's
so
literally Tetris.
you're just literally playing Tetris. They really didn't do anything fancy for it. Definitely not worth $30. 10, I wouldn't have felt bad, but 30, I was like, oh fuck, I paid 30 for this. So there you go. I like it so far. VR, is it groundbreaking or anything? the thing that makes it groundbreaking is because it's wireless. To me, that's the next step, right? Wireless, and now the next step after this is to shrink it down.
I think you're
right?
you're also selling it short too. The no need for the camera is a big deal.
Yeah,
The no need to set up with the nodes or the camera and all that kind of stuff. That's a big leap in the tech, I think, too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so they're making strides, and I think the next version, probably a couple versions down, they'll probably start working on the size of this thing, right? It's going to start shrinking over time.
I don't think that's most people's issues with it, though. Is that what you think it is?
A lot of people complain, got a big Cyclops thing on my head for an hour. And it does get warm, too, because the battery's in here.
You are the dick who always complains about 3D glasses, but you're okay with the VR headset. It's a valid point.
I don't bitch about 3D headset.
Yeah, you do all the time.
Because it don't work for me. I don't know why. The VR headset
Your eyes are broken.
So, well, maybe a VR corner once a month. Charles and I will take some look at some VR games. Bill, you have any interest in VR, or is it just kind of a waste of time for you?
The one time that I played it, which I think was with you guys watching the Super Bowl at Burt's, it was fun. It's one of those things, if I'm hanging out with you guys and you pull it out, I'd play it, but I'm not going to put any money into it.
Yeah. All right, so that's a look at my thing. Now, Bill, you also bought an HP this week, or last week. I don't know which week you bought it.
A couple weeks ago at this point.
Yeah,
a couple weeks now.
And what did you buy?
Yeah, so I bought a Pavilion 24-inch touchscreen all-in-one. So, as has been documented in some of the previous podcasts, some of the issues I was having with my old school Lenovo all-in-one, which I loved, but it was, aged, I guess was would be the best way to put it. And yeah, well, unfortunately, with computers, aged is not the same thing. And so eventually it just it crapped out. So I was thinking initially of taking my laptop. I remember I bought a laptop earlier this spring, and just using a setup with that. The problem is that I have a standard size desk essentially, and because I work from home, right now I have the all-in-one. I have like a semicircle. I have an all-in-one that has the 24-inch screen. I think the one that I had, the Lenovo, was something like a 22. And then I have two 27-inch monitors alongside of it. So there's not a whole lot of
You're running three
space.
monitors?
I run two monitors for work. So I have two 27-inch monitors that I use for work, and then I have my laptop, which sits with a port replicator on it. So I have a small space for keyboarding and for to take notes and whatnot. So I have
a fucking
limited
command
space.
center over there, dude.
So,
We've
so
always said
I have limited space to. Yes, I have limited space to. So I didn't really have another space to keep a laptop down, and I hate typing on laptop keyboards if I don't have to. I mean, it's one thing if I'm sitting, in somewhere and there's, if I'm using it for just strictly mobile use and somewhere where I can't use a standard keyboard. And so I just didn't have room to place another keyboard down and then set up another monitor. So I started looking at all-in-ones, and since I'm a total sucker, I ended up finding this and at Best Buy.
Best Buy.
What's the damage on it? What's the price? You didn't give me the price.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was $8.99, but with a gift card and some extra money, I got it for just right around $8.
The only thing that concerns me a little bit is that hard drive's kind of small, 256.
There's not a regular. So I've got a bootable drive. So I rock an NV touchscreen that I rock here. I bought it with a little more horsepower than what BV's talking about, but I also paid some more for it. But I've got two drives. I've got a platter drive in it for my regular backups, or my regular storage drive, if you will, and then I got a 256 SSD boot drive that allows the PC to boot up immediately. Is that what you're dealing with, BV?
As far as I know, it just has the one drive.
Oof. You need an external drive for that boy. Put that next.
Well, I have one, but
okay.
Yeah, I've got
porn
like a
would fill that up. No, I'm kidding.
Wow. So yeah, that was actually my biggest concern. Is if when I was looking, the problem is
storing your porn. I know it's always a concern.
No, not storing the porn. I'm talking about the size
your
of the hard
dick pics.
Yeah. Well, wow. No, the thing is though that you could. There was mean, there's two other areas, and there's this price range where this is about what you get for the price. Then you could go real economy that just seemed like it was spending. If I'm spending $500 or $600 for something that seems like it's already way outdated, that's fine. But I didn't want to do that. But it would jump very quickly up into that jump from about 8 or 9 to about 12 or 13 and beyond hits pretty quickly. And so it just this is how it worked out. And like I said, I have a like a 4 terabyte external, so I'm not too worried about. And I probably don't store as much as you do.
Yeah. I have games my games would eat through that in like 10 seconds.
A lot. You
Yeah,
know what's
no,
crazy here is the video. The video for me is what fills it up. Yeah. I've got an external storage drive just to like back up throw and stuff like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm just a traditional kind of everyday user. So I don't think I'll have a problem, or if I do, it won't be anytime in the near future.
Excellent.
But it's fast enough. It's got enough storage and whatnot, and it's got the speakers are a lot better. Yeah, it's overall really nice.
I'm gonna ask. I haven't been a while since I bought an HP, and I have nothing against HP. I think they're fine computers. How much bullshit apps do they put on your computer?
A decent amount, but anytime I get a computer now, the first thing I do as I'm setting it up is I go in and I just start deleting.
Was McAfee on there? They love them. McAfee.
Yeah, there was McAfee.
Yeah.
And this one, it's weird because I had the same thing when I bought the laptop. It came with like a 6-month subscription to a security. The one before I think was Tecro or something like that.
There's a million of them.
And this,
I tell you what, I love my all-in-ones now. Like I've had 2 in a row now that I've loved a lot. Unless you're gaming on a PC, I don't see the point of really getting that big case anymore. Right. It would be if you're gaming and you've got a lot of video card to worry about or upgrade path to worry about, go for it. Other than that, just an all-in-one is just 10 times easier to me. It's super easy to just set up, power up, good to go.
Yeah,
you don't have to store a tower.
Yeah, it's easy.
And I've had real good luck with them. It's the one thing I would say with it, and I think this is pretty much, although I did see a few online that still have them, but I would like to still have. I know it's not like the old man here, but still like to have an optical drive. But,
what, to back up your George Michael CDs? Like, what are you doing with an optical drive?
Oh, I still, I'd like to be able to utilize my CD, DVDs occasionally, and
dude, you can digitize
but I can,
that
I mean,
porn,
but externals are so cheap though; it's not really that big a deal.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I agree with you though. Some of us like to go to Family Video and do things.
Yeah, you just because you're bootlegging the shit out of rental copies, you're illegal movies.
Will you please be quiet? All right, so let's take a look at what's new this week. Not much from Netflix, to be honest. But the big one that Bill has been waiting for is Dawson Creek, season 1 through 6 is now on Netflix, so you guys can binge the shit out of that show. Charles, do you want to see Dawson's Creek?
This show sucks. My wife is in love with this show, as we discussed earlier in it. This show sucks. This is a huge no. I don't know if Heather's going to rewatch it. She never watches the DVDs. Who knows if it's available on Netflix and just easier, but I say no.
And Bill?
Hell to the no.
No. All right. Now, this one I'm kind of excited for. Looney Tunes, 1930 through 1969. Old Looney Tunes. I want to know if they're going to put like a racial sensitivity. Yeah. I wonder if they're going to put that in front of these cartoons. I like a good old Looney Tunes show. I might put it on like when I'm doing a model or playing video games or something. I'm not going to lie. I'm a yes on the Looney Tunes on HBO Max, Charles.
I think you're lying. I think it's going to look like hot garbage on your TV at this point. Imagine what a Looney Tunes looks like on like a 55-inch flat screen. Holy shit.
It's a little box.
Mud vision coming through. Yeah. I'm not going to watch that.
Yeah, Bill?
Well, I too love old school Looney Tunes, so I'll tell you how it looks like on a 70-inch.
So me and Bill are going to watch this. Yeah, so there you go. Now, next one up, some more new network TV shows coming out this week. The Good Doctor. I haven't watched a second of this, so I could give it two shits. I'm a no. Charles?
I'm with you. I know it's like an autistic kid who's an amazing doctor. It's an ABC show. Yeah. I'm not into it, no.
And Bill?
No, I'm not going to watch it, but I'm kind of curious. Is this just coincidence, or is this like a play off of like shows like The Good Wife? Or
I don't know.
Yeah,
I do like the word "good" in a lot of TV shows.
I don't think it's like the Marvel universe, guys. I don't think all the good shows tie.
I don't know. Well,
Is it kind of a good place?
Yeah.
Is it kind
I'll
of
be
a good
watching
wife?
nothing with the word "good" in it.
There's a lot of good in titles.
The problem is none of them are good shows.
Yeah, that's the word they trick you. All right, this one, NBC loves this damn show. I haven't watched a second of it. This Is Us on NBC. This is a drama with a bunch of young hip actors and one giant woman. No.
One giant
I mean, she looks like me with a wig. Yeah. All right, so I'm a no on This Is Us, Charles.
I got to tell you, the bloom fell off the rose on this show, man. People were way into it that first season. Then they found out how the dad died or whatever. No one gives a shit anymore. I never watched it. Heather watches this show again. That's a no from me.
And Bill?
Yeah, my manness, I think, prohibits me from watching this show.
Oh, Jesus. His testosterone.
Meaty Clanker says he can't watch it.
Yeah, my...
Beavy's Meaty Clanker say no.
That's the review on the box.
That's a no. Yeah.
Next up is Young Sheldon on CBS. I watched the first episode of this show when it aired. Never watched again.
Yeah.
I'm a big no. Young Sheldon, Charles?
I like The Big Bang Theory. This show just did not do it for me. I also hate that kid actor.
And I can't believe it's still on TV.
He sounds like he can't act his way out of a paper bag. I hate the way he talks. I hate everything about that show. No.
And Bill?
I tried really hard to like this show. I gave it like half a season, but it just really missed. And yeah, I agree that kid is like nails on a chalkboard. Like I would like to, you hear him for about 5 minutes, and you're just like, I would love to just go upside that kid's head just to shut him the fuck up.
Whoa, BB wants to fight Young Sheldon.
Next up on Showtime, Moonbase 8. So there is a NASA base in NASA base. Sorry, I keep saying it wrong. Out in the desert,
disgusted.
Out in the Bahamas.
Out in the desert somewhere where they're practicing to live on the moon base. Mm-hmm. It's John C. Reilly, Fred Armisen, and this other guy, and it looks what Space Force should have been. So I'm a big yes on this one. Watch the trailer. I think you'll get a good laugh out of it. And I have a weird John C. Reilly man crush too. So Moonbase 8 Showtime next week. I think I'm going to watch this. Charles.
Okay, so here's my issue.
You don't have Showtime?
No. Well, no one has Showtime. My issue is you said Fred Armisen. Fred Armisen is always one of the people that are on these quirky shows. Portlandia, I'm looking directly at you.
Yeah.
That everyone tells you is great, and you go watch it and you go, I don't get it. So I'm going to say that Fred Armisen's going to kill this John C. Reilly venture, and that's why it's going to suck. So I'm going to say I'll wait and listen for Steve. I'm a no, but if it's any good, which I doubt, I'll watch it.
And Bill?
Yeah, I got roped into frickin' Portlandia for about 2 episodes, which was time I'll never get back. I can't stand Fred Armisen. Unless John C. Reilly is going to suddenly react, Chest Rockwell or frickin' Cal Naughton Jr. Absolutely not. I don't have Showtime anyway, but...
I really do. I've had it free for like 20 years. I don't know why.
Well, that's because that's the added value. They want you to be able to watch
you don't get faster internet, but you got some fucking Showtime. Yeah. Great. All right, so that's what's coming out
They
this
knew
week.
You watched all of Banshee on Cinemax. They were like, get some Showtime, too.
So what's coming out UFC and Fight Nights?
Well, hey, nothing really coming out. We've got another Fight Night coming up next week with a decent card. So this past weekend, a longer veteran named Uriah Hall actually KO'd the 4th round Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva's still fighting. I want to say this was his 11th loss or something crazy. And he's long in the tooth. And Dana White basically came out and said, like, Anderson Silva's got to hang it up. It's hard to watch. Anderson Silva's so well thought of from other fighters in the UFC. To watch him kind of go out on his back is really disheartening.
How many has he lost in a row now?
It's been like 3 or 4 in a row that he's lost. Oof. It's just not good. And basically, he's got to walk away. And Dana White's telling him, like, dude, you're a legend. Like, stop. It's okay, man. But sometimes, man, ask Randy Couture, man. You just can't turn it off. Ask Tito Ortiz, you know? I mean, this kind of shit is just crazy. And then the other one I put of note, Mo Green lost to Greg Hardy. Greg Hardy is 7-2.
How long before he gets a title shot?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, like
Everyone, you hate that guy. He keeps winning.
yeah, he beating his wife really got him good at UFC and mixed martial arts, man.
You know, you got to punch a bitch in the head.
Yeah, or young Sheldon, according to BV.
Yeah.
It was practice.
Yeah, man. So anyway, long story short, Greg Hardy knocks another win, 7-2. I put that on there because I was shocked.
Yeah.
And then next week we got a decent fight card coming up from UFC Apex in Vegas. You got Glover Teixeira's fighting Thiago Santos. That's a good main event. And then you got Andre Arlovsky is fighting Tanner Bozer. I like Andre Arlovsky. He's another one that's been around for a long time too. But nonetheless, some decent stuff. But like I said, Anderson Silva, man, I'm with Dana White on this one, man. People love you.
Did you see the card yesterday?
Did I see the what now?
Did you see the fights yesterday?
No, I haven't watched this week, so I haven't had time. My schedule's a little different, hence the reason why we're recording different. Yeah, I haven't had time yet. Did you watch it?
Yeah. No, I didn't. I'm actually just curious if he even, I mean, as a fourth round came, I'm wondering if he even looks remotely like himself for pieces of it, or if he's just like, if the entire time he's in the octagon, you're just like, why are you still there?
Yeah. I don't know. Tuesday I'll check it out when I'm off and stuff like that, so I'll definitely get around to it. But, yeah, I haven't actually watched it. That's just what I got reports of.
All right. There's some UFC for you. Now let's go to the final news stretch. We're down the home stretch. Only an hour and 20 minutes left. No, just kidding. So, Charles, you have a gut feeling that this game's going to be a stinker. And I'm starting to tend to believe you because Cyberpunk 2077 is now delayed again. This game's been delayed multiple times.
So,
what I didn't know before you go, it's been in development since 2012. I had no idea about that.
And of note, too, it went gold. So they pressed copies. They talked about it on the Bombcast this week. There's pressed copies ready for distribution. What? Like, what is going on right now with this game, man? This is a nightmare. I don't know. This is not going to be good, man.
This is screaming rental more and more as I keep reading on
the
this
other
game.
thing they talked about on the Bombcast, too, if you think about it, they're developing this game for 9 platforms. Yeah. PlayStation 4, the Pro, all the Xboxes, the new PlayStation, PC, and Stadia. Yeah. This is crazy. This game is going to be a dumpster fire.
So Cyberpunk 2077, a lot of people are really into it, wanting it out, but it was supposed to be out. Well, it still wouldn't have been out. It was November 13th, I think it was the launch date on it, but now it's going to be sometime in December.
What is there? There's no launch titles for these consoles.
No. Well,
there's a bad Spider-Man game, a bad Little Big Planet game.
Yeah, a lot of people are claiming the Valhalla Assassin's Creed.
That's current gen.
Yeah, but no, it's coming out for the new gen too. I'm telling you what they're claiming. I don't know. Same thing with the Call of Duty. It's gonna do a dual launch.
This is bad. If you buy a console, you're just a sucker for new hardware, man. Because there's nothing to do.
So back into the game, Star Wars Squadron, that game I like, is getting free Mandalorian DLC, and I thought, oh, that'd be cool to fly his ship around. Well, not so much. When you fly in the ship in the game, you can get little dongles and holograms. That's what it is. You can get like a Baby Yoda dongle, or
that's it?
Yeah, or a hologram of Mando that comes. Yeah, you don't get to fly his ship. Oh, I was like, oh, that's a letdown because I got kind of pumped. I was like, oh, I have to fire that game back.
Why
up.
would you not?
Yeah, right? No. Oh, wow. So it's a little bit of lame. You know, if they're going to give you his ship.
That's a lot of bit of lame.
If they were going to give you his ship, they would have charged you full price for that. They'd be like, $20 for that. So there you go. Now, Charles, you're wondering what's going to come to Netflix? Well, Netflix is now latching into Assassin's Creed, a TV series.
Okay, but the movie flopped. Why am I to assume that this is going to be
Netflix behind it?
Okay, the movie flopped.
But
why am I
Netflix is not behind the movie. So this is different.
I'll check it out. I think that those games.
Yeah, because you have nothing else to catch out.
For real. Those games got great production value and visuals and stuff, and even the stories can be kind of good. But
I'm really pumped for that Viking one. I hope that's good.
Yeah, can you get pumped?
Yeah,
those Assassin's Creed games are so overrated.
Well, they're also going to branch out. I imagine they want to make a whole franchise out of this Assassin's Creed. So they're going to do this TV show. They might do an anime. They might do this.
Great.
This.
Let's dilute the market.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. So, and of course, that'll be 5 years from now after you paid extra money for it for the next 3 years. And so now, Charles, we talked on this podcast before about streaming services and streaming games. And we thought, no, we need more of them. That's what we need. Facebook is now joining the game streaming war. But they're going a little different route. Your game streaming on them is going to be more Plants vs. Zombies or mobile games, Clash of Clans, stuff like that is what they're trying to do. I don't know who's clamoring. Why wouldn't you just play the mobile game? Why do you need to stream it if you have a phone with the mobile game? So their games aren't going to be like the Assassin's Creeds and the Mortal Kombats. They want more friendly, fast-paced, mobile-type games that their service is going to stream.
But what you just described is a game where I could just download it and not need my Wi-Fi or internet connection. So what would be the point? If you get a AAA title that you can't put on a phone, I get why I need a streaming. But if it's a game that I could easily just install, why wouldn't I just install it? That makes no sense.
I don't know. That's Facebook's approach.
I guess because that's my thing too. And tell me if you guys go down this road. Do you guys download like a lot of TV episodes and games or movies rather to watch offline? Do you guys do that at all?
No.
I don't download any of my stuff. BV, do you do that at all?
No, I don't download anything at all.
I don't know why that. So I'm so confused.
The only reason I would consider it is if I'm going somewhere like up north or something, and I knew there was going to be terrible connection.
Yeah, but that's like a random thing, right?
Yeah. I don't. Maybe I'm in Wyoming sometime. I don't know. I'm trying to think up of reasons, but
and then with this one, why would I want to be connected to the internet to play a game I could just put on my? I'm so baffled by this.
It seems like it's going to fail. It's destined to fail. It's like it's going to go the Quibi route, I think, but we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
Facebook's got a lot of money. They do have a big gaming section on Facebook that I never touch. Remember, Joe was into Mafia Wars, RIP, was in the Mafia Wars real big, and there are some pretty big games on Facebook.
But none of them require the horsepower that you need a server farm to run.
No, none of them do.
That's what I'm trying. Like, I don't get the. So I want to play Cyberpunk 2077. I don't have an up-to-date PC. Oh, I can get it on Stadia.
Yeah,
that I can
Microsoft
connect those
Cloud.
dots.
Yeah.
I understand that. This
I want to play Clash of Clans.
I
can do that on my phone.
My old flip phone can run Clash of Clans. I don't understand.
I don't know. I don't get the point of this at all, but that's what they're going for. So just in case you didn't have enough game streaming options, another one's coming.
They just it's the new MMO. You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you think about, look at the virtual reality when it hit. How many different companies came out with a different virtual reality? So you got
3.
You got the Oculus, you got the PlayStation, you got the Valve, and then there's also the HP Vive. That's
wasn't
4.
the Valve one just a rebranded something or other too?
I don't think so. It's its own thing because it's all over Steam. The Valve Index or whatever the hell it's called.
I guess, man.
I don't know. All right, so now, Charles, because you were so convinced that the Blood of Zeus was so good, Netflix said Charles liked it. Let's put some more money into anime, and I guess basically exclusive home of anime is coming up to Netflix. They're investing in a Resident Evil anime, Godzilla, which is already out. I watched it. It's terrible. The Transformers, which I kind of like, but Charles did not like, and more. They're going heavy into anime
because, like you had touched on earlier, their stand-up comedy is a little dry right now. Yeah. So hold on, let's get some anime to pass out to the dudes.
Side note: Sony PlayStation just bought Crunchyroll. You remember?
That's not a bad idea though.
They bought it for big, like $945 million.
It's not bad.
Yeah, Crunchyroll does all anime stuff too,
it's
right?
It's all Japanese.
Yeah, Sony bought that.
I don't think that's a bad idea.
But they paid a ton. I don't know.
Crunchyroll was in bed with someone else too. I don't remember, but people love it.
Sony just.
I work with a handful of people that are way into like anime stuff, and they always get blown away that my old ass kind of knows some of the stuff.
Is it because of the random shit I cover on the podcast?
It's just through osmosis, and then my blogs and stuff. I know way too much about random shit like that. Yeah.
Did you ask them why anime all their stories suck and the fucking voice acting's terrible?
There's like a weird generation now where like these mid to late 20 somethings that are addicted addicted to Dragon Ball Z, man. Like,
Oh, wow.
way deep into Budokais and all. I'm like,
Bill's brother.
yeah. And he's got to be mid-20s at this point.
How old is
yeah.
your brother, Bill?
He's 30.
Yeah, so there you go. That same wheelhouse. Yeah, weird.
Well, Michelle's niece is kind of into it.
Yeah,
too.
and they're way into it. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, dude, that sucks, right? Like, someone was stoked the other day because Avatar The Last Airbender was going like, what?
I sat through all that because everyone kept telling me I was missing something.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was missing. Still up to this day. Anyways, all right, so that's the end of the news. And I have a random rant, and then Charles is going to describe what a hater zombie is.
Yeah.
So I went to the mall with Holly Saturday, right? And then I had to take back one of my security lights because I got 2 different cameras I got on sale from a Black Friday sale. That is not Black Friday, but it's anyways. So I went to that Best Buy myself and I took it back. And then Holly goes, of course, Dad, I want Chipotle. Please give me some Chipotle. It's a Chipotle right there on Eureka, and there's a honey baked ham store right next to it.
Yeah, that honey baked ham's been there forever.
Yeah, so I drove over to the Chipotle, and then this Chipotle at the time was taking cash, so I handed her some money. Go buy you a burrito or something. She walks in there, comes back out all depressed. What's the matter? They went all digital. They went so.
I think all Chipotles are all digital.
Yeah, well, that one was taking cash up until last week.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, so they
The one on the hill's been all digital for a while.
yeah, the one in Eureka is the one Holly's been going to when she doesn't have a credit card to get the cash. So I was like, well, you have a phone in your pocket, right? Just order it and then go. She's, oh, okay. So she orders the burrito, and now we got to wait 20 minutes. So I was like, you know what? I've never been in that honey baked ham store. All these years I've lived
You
here.
haven't been?
Have you?
Yeah. That's where, when the one on Ford Road closed, that's where I go to get, like, I love a honey baked boneless ham is delicious.
Yeah. So I walked in there, and they got all these boards up of family meals you can buy. And there's turkey, there's ham, there's whatever. You get 2 sides, biscuits, and whatever size ham or turkey you want. One of them was $29 plus another $10 for like the whole turkey, so it'd be $39. Another meal was like these sandwiches and stuff. All of them were around $30, and I'm like, that's not. I always thought they were like $100 or $75 for honey bake and stuff like that. And no, the guy was telling me, no, you place the order.
I like how Steve's like inquire. He was like Donald Henson.
I was.
Tell me of your ham delicious meals that
So
you.
was. I was blown away by the prices.
Sonny, excuse me.
I was.
Your ham meals that you are offering at this
come with
purveyor
butter
of ham.
pecan.
What on earth?
Yeah, so it was just random. And yeah, everything was about $30. He was telling me if you order it on the 20th through the 22nd, that's the best time. Anytime after that, you're going to be waiting in a giant line as far as November goes because of Thanksgiving.
When's the best time?
I found all this shit out. So
You go to people's houses on Thanksgiving. Why are you even inquiring?
my
I don't
in-laws
understand.
don't. She quit cooking, so it was a good.
Okay.
It's a good option for her.
That's what we ended up going is for the in-laws' house.
Yeah. So that's what I was thinking. But then I went home and I pulled up the website. And all the fucking family meals are $75 or $100. I was like, where's the $30 meal? I couldn't find them. They were all $100. So I don't know what the hell, who's lying or what. So I guess if you're going to buy a meal from Honey Baked Ham, go to the store and order them because it's cheaper than online. That was the whole point of the rant. I just thought that was funny that in the store I could find
Go
it
talk to
$30.
my buddy Jim at Honey Baked.
I asked him a lot of questions. I didn't buy a damn thing. I just sat there asking questions.
This fucking fat guy comes in asking a million questions about ham.
Him and his little hairy daughter with the fucking little
what the
fro.
fuck?
Yeah, I so did that. So there you go. That was my Saturday.
Yeah.
So now you know.
Dude, pro tip from Steve.
Go to the store.
So like Steve touched on earlier, and we definitely we come from a long line of this. So BV, what I want to describe to you is something me and Steve have started to coin this week, and we both started to agree. Do you have those people in your life, BV, that every time you have something good going on in your life, they shit on you or they shit on it? And again, I can be just as guilty of this as Steve can as well. But you know what I'm talking about, BV? Do you ever run into people like that?
You know exactly what you're talking about. That's basically like every other person.
Yeah, that's people in the society. So we've coined the term hater zombies. So what these people are is these people in your life that whenever you got anything good going on, they walk over, they saunter over in the dead way that they are, and they try to infect you with their hate. And they always try to bite you on the arm and the leg and all this kind of stuff and drag you down into their shitty world. And that's so that's a hater zombie. Yeah, we were talking about how our dad is very much a hater
Oh,
zombie.
he's been a hater zombie his whole life.
Yeah. And the other one, too, is we were kind of discussing someone who's always depressed and, like, you know, never has any fun and all this kind of stuff, but doesn't really shit on you, but is just shitting on, like, the world shits on me. And
Cheryl
like,
Henson.
Yeah, like a black cloud type person.
Yeah.
Those are those volunteer zombies. Those are the
Yeah,
people.
they volunteer to be
Yeah,
zombies.
they like to do it. Yeah. So anyway, going forward, when you hear us refer to hater zombies, those
Yeah.
are the people that immediately have to shit on you.
So
for
people
what-
aren't clear. So if I went up and said, "Yeah, I bought a house, about $100,000 in Taylor,"
I go, you paid how much for a house in Taylor?
about 100.
Oh, that's way too much in Taylor. You can
Really? I
talk to
thought I
my
got a
no,
good
no,
Why
no.
the hell would you buy a house in Taylor?
Oh man, I shouldn't have bought the house. Haters, I just got bit.
Yeah, dude, you got infected by the hater zombie.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, that's the new thing going forward. You gotta watch out for them hater zombies.
Yeah, like I got a savings thing I've had for 10 years, and I got like a 20% return. What do you think about that?
dude, you could have invested differently and got a 25% return. I don't know why you here talk to my guy. Yeah. Like I talked about it at work. I was like, you know, it's like if you give someone $10,000 and they bitch at you because you gave them to them in like $5 bills and not 20. It's like, what are we doing? Like you just bitch about everything. You're just the most miserable fuck on the planet.
Hater zombies.
Those
They're
hater zombies. BB.
Oh,
Watch
my
out for hater zombies while you're on the bout.
Dad's
You
a
got any
hater.
hater zombies in your life, BV?
I'm sure that I do. Yes.
You can't think of any right off the top of
They're
his
all
head.
over. Yeah, I don't have any great examples right off the top of my head, but they exist in everyday life.
Yeah, dude, there's a lot. As the older we get, man, there's hater zombies everywhere.
Yeah. No matter what you do, it's not good enough for. I had a guy that. A great one is. You kind of did it to me. I had a guy come in with the plumbing, fix my shit for $700. I was happy. Did it in a day. He was gone.
Yeah.
700. You could have done it yourself.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
I was like,
dude.
oh,
yeah,
fuck.
yeah.
You hater zombie.
I
did on
hater
that.
zombie on you
Yeah,
on
I was
that
like,
one.
damn, Charles just bit me with a
Yeah,
hater
that's
zombie.
part of the horde on that one.
Yeah.
I just get so cheap when it comes
I get
to work stuff. I can't we're like doing the home crew.
I get that all the time.
Yeah.
Everything that I pay to have done both costs too much, and you could have done that yourself. It's like, no, I couldn't do it myself. And even if I could, I can assure you that my time is worth more than I would spend to do it myself.
Yeah, man. I do. I hater zombie a lot of people on that shit. I do.
Yeah, you got me.
Because
good on that
I'm
one.
just so cheap, man. I just can't. I'm always like,
You could have drew it to the floor and done your own plumbing. God damn it. No,
Yeah,
Well, you know what I don't understand with that, what cracks me up when you get and Steve gave me a little primer on Skype this week, just chatting about hater zombies. That when that person that makes those comments to you is someone that does that for a living, or someone who's in like in the trades, business. It's like, so you're gonna rip me because I'm paying somebody else to do it. Yet if I didn't exist, your ass would be out on the street. Like,
Yeah.
has it registered to you that if people like me didn't have to and couldn't write checks for people like you would have no food?
He brings up a great point. I didn't think about that.
But people do that shit all the time, and it's just like, well, why didn't you just do this?
I
I'm
think
sorry, I'll pull out some kind of freaking
Bill pulls up in his new Lincoln. Why ain't it a caddy?
I'll tell you, like,
I'll just pull out
to
I'll pull this
justify
mechanical skull
my
in hand,
hater
so-
zombiness in this, a lot of the shit that we do in trades is not fucking rocket science, though, and that's one of the things that's frustrating because it's really not that hard and
But
complicated.
stuff with trades, it comes with experience and confidence.
Yeah, I
Confidence
know.
is key. Like I can probably do a lot of stuff, but I'm always unconfident that something might catch on fire when I'm done, or something might blow up. That's my problem.
I guess
or
that's
I'll do the plumbing and think, all right, I'm good, but then I feel like 3 days later I'm gonna see a puddle down there.
Yeah.
My
But even when that
confidence.
pro does it, it could be that way.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing too. When you, and I know you didn't learn all the stuff that you've picked up over the years from work, but I'm sure you picked up a pretty good percentage of it. And so it's one thing when you can work on something at work and you got someone that maybe shows you or tells you how to do it, and if something gets messed up or a mistake's made, it's not coming out of your pocket. So, but people act like, I'm doing some kind of like, I need to redo my tile in the bathroom and, maybe do some plumbing. Oh, well, YouTube videos. You just watch a YouTube video and that'd be fine. Yeah, you know what? And then why not? I'll not only just watch a YouTube video when I have no knowledge, experience, or any sort of like skill in doing any of those things, and then I'll put my own money into all the materials and take the risk of screwing it up on my first time with just a video to explain for me how to do it.
You can rewind though.
Yeah, and then still and then still end up having to pay somebody to do it anyway.
He brings up a
Oh,
great
that's
point.
great. Just so I can,
I don't know how many times I was like, I can handle this, and it's 42 trips to Home Depot. I still need a different size screw.
I think and maybe like you said, it probably is a comfort level, and I could see how I definitely hate her zombie that, but like. I'd rather fuck up something in my own house than a stranger's house, and that's my whole thing. If I'm gonna break some shit,
but that comes with confidence and experience.
Yeah,
right?
That's true.
I have no confidence whatsoever.
You also know enough that you can avoid a catastrophic mistake in most cases. Whereas half the time I'm looking at this stuff, I don't know what the hell it is. Never mind how it's supposed to work, whether I have the right tool for it. I mean, that's like...
Or if it's up to code. I have no clue on any codes. Yeah. So I just walked to my house. You did that wrong.
I had a couple So I had this past week. So I had a new garage door put in and replaced the whole opener system, the whole thing. Well, you could have just, you could have saved some money and just put that up yourself. Really? I could have done that. Well, no, okay. Never mind the fact that I wouldn't have the first damn clue where to buy a garage door. Never mind how to put it on.
And what's weird in that scenario is I'd have told you not to do it yourself because they're super dangerous. Garage,
yeah, well,
that's that spring that's over your door will fucking kill you.
I've had the spring. I had the spring because the garage door that I replaced was the original wood door from like the early 70s when it was built. So. I mean, and it was rickety as all hell. So every time it opened or closed, it felt like the door was going to snap in half. And and I had one of the springs I had to replace it this spring. Zombies. I say replace it.
Who was the hater zombie that you found? Someone at work?
Yeah, it was someone I was talking to.
I thought it was going to rhyme with John Schmite.
No, my stepdad, he understands that I don't do this stuff, and he doesn't give me. If anything, he tries to help me avoid it. In fact, in a lot of cases, now what he'll do is say, well, you should be able to do it yourself, but you probably won't, and you probably should. Sort of like, well, you should be able to figure it out, but I wouldn't bother.
I wouldn't try a garage door on my own. No thanks.
But in a lot of ways, though, that would be like, well, somebody sued me, so I'm going to call a lawyer. Well, why the hell don't you just defend yourself? It's not that complicated. This is the basic frickin' property law thing here. I mean, come on. You're going to spend $200 an hour on some guy to frickin' defend you in this? Just handle it.
Yeah, but I would argue that replacing tile is nowhere close to knowing the judicial system.
Well, no, they're very different. But to someone who doesn't know anything about the judicial system and someone who doesn't know anything about replacing tile, it's pretty much the same foreign language.
Yeah, but I would argue that, like I said, the thing is in a lot of trade stuff is it's not that complicated. And I apologize for anyone I hate or zombie. Here's the point being.
You hit a dime the shit out of me. What'd you pay that guy?
$700 is crazy. Yeah. I think that's I'm a cheap zombie. Comes in a lot of that stuff.
A cheap hater zombie.
Yeah.
And our dad's been one since day one.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is go down here and apply here, and they'll give you $37 an hour.
OG hater zombie.
All right, I think that's our 2 hour and 15 mark. We're gonna wrap it up. Anything else you guys want to add this week?
No, I'm good.
All right. Any animation you want to plug? Or
no, just don't watch Blood of Zeus because it sucks.
Oh man! And the next week are we shooting for Sunday so our listeners can know?
We'll have to go back to Saturday next week. Keep them guessing.
That consistency.
Why would will that be at the standard Saturday time or?
I'm not making any promises. No, it should be at the 7:00 time, right? Isn't that what we normally do?
Yeah.
All right. So see everyone next Saturday at 7:00.
All right. Of course, catch us on fatguyslittlepodcast.com. As soon as Charles uploads the video on YouTube, I'll get it out there. You can see us on our YouTube channel, Facebook channel, of course. You can see it on Google Play, Apple iTunes, and anywhere you can get podcasts. Until next week, this is Steve and
Charles, and watch out for hater zombies.
don't get bit by the hater zombie. See you next time.